It's fine. All right. Well, now they can't hear you. Okay, let me fix that. I literally just fixed this. Somebody say something. Okay, it's not coming through. Hold on. Technical difficulties, friends. I'm just gonna do this. Okay, that works. Okay, hello everybody. Happy Friday.
It is technical difficulties. Sorry.
Yes, serious trouble. Thank you. I was watching the bars this time so that we wouldn't have a repeat of what happened the last time that this happened. Except this time my OBS seems to have reset itself on all of my sound settings. Yay! So yes, happy Friday. Let's start with introducing all of our lovely, wonderful, amazing players. Let's start with the glorious, the beautiful, and all the way to the left, Miss Kelly.
It is I, glorious and beautiful, Ola. Oh, and angels came down and sang, and they all sang, Ola, Bola.
To finger guns.
Finger guns. 100%.
Yes, playing the half-orc barbarian Vola, and you can find me on cavegirl.com and cavegirlprod on Twitter. Moving on.
And next we have Matt. Matt?
We have?
Judy.
Oh.
Did I cut out when I said Matt?
you said next we have?
Oh.
Nothing.
Matt.
Nothing.
I said
Yes,
Matt.
Today is it's me, Matt Lawson VO, player of paladins everywhere, particularly a Verban paladin known as Judy. I will not say his full name. You heard it all in the recap yesterday, the last time we played. I'm not going to repeat it again unless necessary. So I'm an aspiring voice actor and accountant, and you can see me on Twitter at Matt Lawson VO and all that other gubbins.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have Kirsten.
Tis I, Kirsten. I am playing the Goblin Warlock Dee. That's who I'm playing tonight. I'm an artist. You can find me on the internet at myriad_x is my social media handle for all my social media platforms that I'm on. I am mostly active on Twitter and TikTok. Sorry, Seth. But yeah, hey.
Yeah. All right. Wait. I was thinking about the pig.
Okay.
Did we spoil the phrase titter pig yet? Because if not, I just did.
Well, yeah, you just did.
You just did.
Yeah.
Yay. So hello, I am Seth. It is I, and I have found one of my friends explained to me this week that they affectionately refer to TTRPG, tabletop role-playing game, as titter pig. So there is your word that's one to grow on for this evening, and I am playing the Death Priest Druge, the Furbolg Death Priest Druge. That's all I got. Bash.
The Furbolg Death Peach.
Death Peach.
Next we have Jeff.
I'm done.
Me too. I quit.
I'm done. I'm out.
Bye. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
It's nice knowing you.
I'm Jeff, also known as King Bashman here on the channel. I have social medias. Half the time I can't remember them, so there's that. You can usually find me here on the channel playing Wednesdays and Fridays and running the Yawning Portal game on Thursdays. I never know what to expect in that game, so check it out, because you also never know when a TPK will happen. So
That's very true. That is very true. And last but hopefully not least, hello everybody. I'm your DM for this evening and every Friday evening for the foreseeable future. My name is Mandii, and you can find me on all kinds of things. I am currently guesting on the Thursday game, and I play on the Saturday night Rise Up Against the Slave Lords game with Myriad here. And a bunch of other awesome cast members. Hello, I love you all. If you're watching, hi, Francis and Emily and Lori. Yeah, I'm an artist. You can find me on the internet at the Mandii. I'm also a member of the staff over at our sponsors, TPK Games. I am the community manager for TPK Games, so yay. If I don't say it every time, Duff will yell at me. He's yelled at me every time I haven't said it so far. So I'm saying it. Do you hear me, old man? Okay, yeah, he's in chat. Do you hear me?
Old man yells at the sky.
Ah! Yes, and see, he's yelling now.
Get off my lawn!
Get off my lawn, Mandii! I just imagine that every time he has to hear about anything I do, he's just like, get off my lawn! That would be my reaction to myself, personally. So, it's fine. We have a recap for this week from the perspective of mysterious Danny DeVito.
What?
I mean,
I
wasn't present for it, but I
hey,
wrote something.
yeah.
So, hey guys, me again. How you doing? So, I feel as though the last few days have been kind of like a dream that I've been a viewer of. Just like a passive spectator in the going-ons as we traverse the jungle. Haven't really had much of a say in what I do. You ever feel like that? You ever feel like you're just like a spectator in your own life? Felt like that the last few days. Could be the effects of swallowing a snake, now that I think about it.
Snake eggs.
So, as we were preparing to leave the temple and all of that, the gnome informed the group that he'd seen a crashed airship on the way to Mbala, and Vola, V-O-L-A, Vola, seems to think that the airships are a myth. I know that airships are not a myth. However, I like Vola, V-O-L-A, Vola, the most out of this group, so I have chosen to stick behind her in this conspiracy theory. For science and chaos. Apparently, this group also encountered a dragon prior to me joining up with them, so that's great and totally won't come up at a later point in time. So, I guess we decided as a group, not me though, I wasn't a part of this discussion, to head towards the shipwreck that Transit had found to investigate whether we'd be able to use it in our quest to Omu. And then the human, the one that we picked up, the one with the dragon bait, my new best friend, he keeps trying to steal my job. I'm the navigator of this group, not him. He seems to have forgotten that. And as we're traveling through the forest, we find some remains of members of the Flaming Fist, who ironically died by fire. Kind of poetic, really. And Vola, V-O-L-A Vola, found a wand. She thought it was a stick of... She thought it was a stick. It was a wand, though. Bless her little barbarian heart. And then we encountered some flying people. Flying dinosaur people, which was, great. So, I just started blasting. My Eldritch Blasts. That's what I do. Finger gunning them. And now, I have something I would like to discuss to the stream. I have noticed some hostility from the gnome. Not sure why. I suspect he does not like redheads, but he seems to have no problem with Vola, V-O-L-A Vola, or the goblin adjacent one. Perhaps he does not like archaeologists. Seems kind of a weird thing to have a prejudice against, but I don't know what else it could be. Anyway, as we rest for the night, the tall one takes it upon himself to explain the existence of multi-planes to Vola, V-O-L-A Vola. It does not go well. But I think the tall one and I have made an impact on her, maybe. I think she still thinks it's all fake, to be honest. And then some big old boys walk around our camp, but, the tall one has a stroke of genius. And we douse the fires, and we're quiet. We're very quiet. And then they just walk on. We didn't even have to fight them. It was great. That never happens. Not since I joined this group. They're always fighting shit. And as the morning comes, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch the rest of the session.
Oh my god.
And I think we found the airship, but it was broken into pieces. And then there was further discussion of what? I have no idea. I think I blacked out in the end. End of notes.
You get a pig.
Give her 2 luck dice for that.
You get 2 luck dice for that. That was fucking genius. For those of you at home who did not tune in last game, because it's been a while,
It's been a while.
Kirsten was actually not with us last session, but
I
it
was
was
not.
her turn on the roster, and I was like, yeah, she's gonna watch it back to take notes anyway, might as well let her do it. So I don't have to change the order of the rotation for who does the recaps, because I'm lazy. That's really what it boils down to. She suffers because of my laziness, and it's fine. Because she'll forgive me, because I'm cute.
I will. Of course.
So, yeah, I did the fuckboy thing. I don't know why.
I wonder if I can get away with that in my game. No.
No, it's because
No.
Kirsten does it all the time. I was just I'm just imitating what I know. Okay. All right. So, yes, I believe that was where we had left off. Was that morning you were heading out of camp towards, I assume, the airship, the crashed airship.
I believe so.
Yeah.
We made it to the airship. We made it kind of. They were overlooking the airship, like Rancid and
From the tree or
artists.
something.
Yeah, artists like went up to higher grounds to look over to see like the state of the airship, and they
Yeah.
could tell that it was broken into multiple pieces.
Yep, Rancid, Dragonbait, and Artis all went up onto the side of the mountain. So you are basically in like the mountain, like where the mountains like slope down to the ground, at, like the ground level of the jungle. So that's kind of the type of terrain that you're working with now. It's very rocky, and the jungle's very thick because people generally don't traverse right at the base of the mountains in that way, or at least in that area. And you also notice that there's not as much wildlife through here as well. But yes, you are heading, currently you are, regardless of what you decide to do, you are heading in the direction of that airship crash site, because beyond that crash site lies your goal, Omo. As far as you are aware, based on the conversations you've had about the map with Artis and with Iku. So yeah. What are we doing? Does anybody, I mean, do you all want to have a discussion about, you know, where you're going, what you're doing, what your intents are?
I just assumed we were following Ranzit's quest to put together this airship.
Yeah, trying to figure out what needs to be done.
Yeah, I guess we could just go and assess the situation.
I'm just amusing everyone by going along with it.
Oh,
I would like to see Vola on the bridge of an airship.
Oh God.
I bet you would.
Captain
she's-
Vola.
And she still wouldn't believe it.
DOLA Vola.
DOLA
I'm into
Vola.
it.
Don't
Every
do that
time.
while I'm drinking.
You just have to expect it now. You have to
Snarfing
expect it to happen
mezcal would
now.
not be good.
Yeah.
Saying.
An obliterable hi. Oh, hi, Furious Tribble. I know
Woo.
you.
What a great name that is, Furious Tribble.
Furious Tribble. Don't mess with the tribbles.
Yeah.
Ranzit.
Rancid! Rancid!
Yes.
Can I get? God is telling you that they need a intelligence check, pretty please.
Credit, please.
Sure.
Can I boop him?
Who's telling him?
Because I addressed Ranzit directly, so whenever he asked the question, he's like, "Oh, God up in heaven." It was just me
Oh.
saying, "God is telling you," because he said that last week. Never mind.
I mean, surely you mean Lavender, right?
Lathander says. No, if Lathander said that, I'm pretty sure Ranzit would be like, "Man, fuck off."
Like, sorry.
Uh,
Please call again at a later time.
The number you have
dirty
dialed
20.
is out of service. 20 what? Dirty 20?
30-20.
Okay. For a second, I thought you said 30-20, and I was like, how does that work?
He's
Amazing.
very smart.
He's the
300.
smartest.
That is the year of our
320.
Lord Lathander.
30,
Dear our
20.
Lord.
Oh my god, I can't.
What if we all just convert to Lathanderism by the end of the campaign?
Yay!
I will
No.
I will allow class adjustments and changes to reflect this change in religious status. I may even offer boons, especially if you all start speaking in a southern accent, because the light of Lathander is only transmitted by the purest of souls. Don't get me started. Anyway, Ranzit.
Everyone's multi-classed into paladin.
Oh no. Or cleric, that'd be even better / worse. Ranzit, you think from what you have seen that it may not be impossible to repair this airship. However, it would take a lot of effort. You're just thinking about what you're seeing and like the dimensions of what you were able to glimpse from the cliffside, and with that 20, you definitely have a sense that you definitely would have to look at it to know for sure, because you don't know how many pieces it's in, if it's in more than 2. You just know that the front of the ship is definitely like on its own. Like it clearly crashed wherever it was. It was a very bad landing. A very, very bad landing. So with that knowledge in mind, feel free to proceed. Might not be impossible to fix it, but airships are big and you are small.
I am so small.
You are small.
Yes.
Small.
But he has many friends and a hadrosaur named Barry.
That's true. Are you all going to become
I am
airship engineers?
Nah, the hadrosaur was not his.
We
That's
need to
true.
have Malix come on the show because she's an engineer. So.
Oh, we lost a man.
Uh-oh. We did
Yes.
lose him out. That's okay. Continue. He'll come back in when he can.
I believe we left off with Ranjit and Artis kind of up on that perch, going over
No, you were already...
what they were seeing.
You were already down.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The party is aware of whatever you have shared with them. So that was kind of part of last session. We didn't really dwell on it too hard, I don't think.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell them that from what I've seen, it could be a large task to try and get this ship flying again, but I can't tell unless we get a closer look, and it's kind of on the way to our destination anyway, so.
Would be a good idea to go towards there anyway. There might be some treasure or something, you know.
Yeah, I mean, as a magical airship, there must be magical items on board, right?
At one point in time, probably. Worth a look.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Yeah, indeed.
How far are we from it at this point?
Oh god. Let me double check something. You're days away. It's far.
Okay. But it's still like kind of like on the way.
Yes,
So, like,
it is in the general direction of where you need to go in order to reach Omu.
Okay.
Right now, Omu is to the southeast of where you are all located, and on the way are several landmarks. Iko has mentioned one of them. There's a ravine that she said might be a good place to look around as well if the party wanted to do that. And then the shipwreck, if you will, is a little bit beyond that landmark point that she had mentioned. I believe she had also suggested that the party start moving towards the river so that it's easier to know which direction you're going, because it's very easy to get turned around, even with a navigator, even with a good navigator. It's very easy to get turned around in the thickest parts of the jungle, which is where you are.
Okay.
Yep.
We shall do that then.
Here it is.
Lead us, friend Dee.
You want me to roll?
Yes, please.
Ooh,
yes.
22.
22. Okay. Yes, it is called Ataz Kahakla. That is the name of the ravine. And beyond that ravine, in a few, it's basically from where you are. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are about 13 days out
From the airship?
from the airship.
Ow.
We can see that far?
I'm
Okay,
I'm telling you yes, because I didn't realize it was quite that far, but it is.
Can you pull up the map in Owlbear? That might change things.
I can pull up a map.
Whatever we've got.
You are in uncharted territory right now. Is the point I'm trying to drive home?
Got it.
You do not know precisely where you are on the map, and you do not have the map filled out enough to do that. You have a general vicinity of where Omu is located. You know the names of the. Basically, they had said that it's between the Peaks of Flame and the Valley of Lost Honor, and those are both landmarks that Iku knows, but it is not on a map. She points on the map. She has pointed on the map to like where those things are roughly located, and she says that she is, vaguely familiar with where Omu is. And you could get to Omu, but other things that are around here that maybe haven't been here for as long, aka airship, that's all in uncharted territory. You don't know how deep into the jungle you have to go precisely to get there. Like, you don't know if you're reaching... You don't know if you're... Hold on a second.
Well, that's getting into a crimp in an otherwise damn fine plan.
So we're gonna have to travel 13 days to the airship.
Yeah,
We're
that
gonna travel
seems-
13 days for something that's mythical. I'm just
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great discovery.
I mean, technically, this whole place is mythical.
saying.
Does
Yeah.
anybody remember how far we actually are from... Oh, God. Is that jackass undead thing we need to go find?
Rosnisi.
Yes. Thank
Well,
you.
it's
How
in-
far were we from Rosnisi?
Rosnisi is in.
Rosnisi
Omu.
is in Omu.
Yeah, that's why we're going to Omu.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how far out of our way are we going? 13 days?
It's
Not
not,
out of our way.
It's not out of your way. I'm telling you that Omu is weeks away. The airship crash is on the way to your goal.
Then off we go.
But that's still 13 days away. So.
Like, if you were... Alright, let me get out the thing. Hold on. You're not going to be able to see it, so it's really not going to help you that much.
I mean, is there any way we can like move faster? If we can.
Have you procured a means of moving faster?
Well, as in not going by normal speed, but by.
We could do that, but then we're rolling at disadvantage for survival and all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct. You can move faster. If you would like to move faster, you can certainly do that. It's totally up to you guys. That is your choice. You can move slower, you can move faster. It's totally up to you.
I can be very patient. We should just move at a normal pace.
Just know that the more time that passes in game is,
Yeah, Jugi looks a little bit concerned by the amount of time that they're going to have to travel in order to get to Amy? It does look. They do look quite a little bit flustered. They're still remaining positive, but they're looking a little bit flustered by when they discuss the amount of time it will take to get to.
I mean, it's a big island.
Yes, it is.
One might even say continent.
I mean, it is a continent.
Right.
Okay.
Wait,
so
did you just move us? Okay, you're moving us around. I'm looking at the map and like we just keep moving around.
I'm not moving you around. The party is over to the northwest. So if you look at the map in Owlbear Rodeo, if you really want to, you're in uncharted territory, so it's not like you know what all is here. You know where Ataz Kahakla is. You know where the River Tath is. Those are things that are clearly marked on the map. And they are also locations that Iku is very familiar with. Beyond Ataz Kahakla, there is a symbol on the map of a, like, compass rose. That is where the airship is. And then if you move your view a little further southeast, you will see a dagger icon. That is where Omu is, roughly.
Supposedly.
Between the... Well, definitely. That's what Saja Umbaza told you is where it is. It is located kind of in the middle between the Valley of Lost Honor and the Peaks of Flame, which are also clearly notated on the map you all have. As well as the map that Artis has. So, basically what you guys have is essentially the same. Except for, like, Artis's has on it in their travels, but nothing crazy significant. Like, he shares it with you guys. It's nothing, like, secret or whatever.
Okay.
So those are the rough areas of where the things you are seeking are at.
What would be the difference from a traveling perspective if we were to go down the River Tath and... Oh, we don't have canoes anymore. Never mind.
Oh.
Yep. Through the jungle it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything they want to add to that, or shall we start making our way?
I'm just going to say right now that when we inevitably get to this thing that we're going after, and it is not everything that you guys are saying, I just want to say I told you so.
Bola, I completely hear you. I am behind you 100%. I don't think it exists either.
But I'm gonna go because, you know, the group harmony shit. But I'm gonna go. But I'm just telling you right now that I'm putting it out there that I told you so. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say.
Sometimes science is a liar.
It is. It's totally a liar. Out of game, I just have to say that me playing this character is really painful. It hurts me. It hurts me to be this person. Anyway, but back to Bola.
You're the one who chose to be this person in character.
Yeah, Bola's a flat Toroller.
A flat Toroller, yeah, she's a flat Toroller for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's basically where y'all are at. You are almost 3 weeks away from Omu if you were to travel in the on foot the whole way. Essentially is what you're looking at.
Got it.
That's the estimate that Iku gives you. It would take almost 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yep. It's a long way to walk. You're walking across the entire continent of Chult. I mean, it's a peninsula, but it's still, it's its own thing.
I mean, we really don't have another option, so.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Unless we suddenly run into a teleportation device or something.
Oh, wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, I was
Let's
gonna.
go.
Yes. Somebody said DM.
I said hint,
Hint.
DM.
Oh.
Teleportation would be great.
Hey, you know. You gotta earn that shit.
Hey, Bull, you should wave that stick. What does it do?
I don't know. It's a stick.
Did you identify that wand? I forget.
Wand of
Yes, we
Secrets.
did.
Oh yeah. Yes. For the folks at home who aren't aware, the Wand of Secrets has 3
Wand of
charges.
Secrets, yes.
When you're holding it, you can use an action to expend one of its charges. And a secret door or a trap, if it is within 30 feet of you, will point to whatever the secret door or trap is nearest you.
Right.
And it does recharge daily at dawn by a certain number of charges that you have to roll for.
Got it.
Mind you, Vola doesn't believe in secret doors, so.
Yeah, it's
I believe in traps.
there you go.
I do believe in traps.
Smart. You should believe in traps. That's good. That is a good trait to have in this game.
I believe in a thing called traps.
All right, moving on. So what are you doing?
Traversing.
Okay. And you rolled what was it again? A 23?
22.
22. Okay.
22 double D.
You don't think anything's following you.
In that case, I would have you roll a perception check for the entire party. Ooh, that's a good point. Let me see. I have to roll some dice now.
I don't like that.
That's always a bad idea.
For you, perhaps.
Very
No!
you,
Why
perhaps.
would you do that, Fort Worth Bell?
Oh, hell yeah! Hey!
What is that? What is playing a random trap? I've never seen that before.
Oh, hell yeah!
We're gonna encounter a random trap.
Damn.
I also, by the way, just want to
Wait
say.
a minute.
I just want to
If
say.
I know in advance we're encountering a random trap, does that mean I just start waving my Wand of Secrets around all the time?
So I normally don't do the loot cards for the folks who are at home. However, I will make an exception because I love this idea. It's just wonderful. Thank you, Francis. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Francis.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks. I'll be sure to tune in tomorrow.
That was not
Hey,
friendly.
Hey,
Thanks.
I'm supposed to be
Thanks,
fighting
Francis.
somebody tomorrow. Don't do it. That would be rude.
Can I just say, I mean, I actually do enjoy the idea of having to travel 3 weeks because that would mean 3 weeks of those lovely mutations. That just makes everything so fun.
Guess you'll have to find a faster way to travel. Okay, moving on. While I think about that trap idea, I'm going to save for later.
Hey, Mandy, can clerics use machetes to cut through the jungle?
Sure you can.
Just can't fight with it, right?
Whatever makes your little heart happy. You know, I just want you to be
I'm
happy.
just gonna ask something silly and
Please.
poppy.
I love it. Please.
Does my aura of alacrity help speed things up? Because it does technically speed people
Are you
up.
seriously asking me to do math?
I know,
I'm
I know.
asking you to do math right now. Hold on. Let me see what I
Really,
rolled
it's all
first
math.
before I answer your question. Oh, I'm sick of these.
Tired of this, Grandpa.
Tired of this, Grandpa.
Too damn bad.
Why do you do this to me? Aw, okay. That's actually cute. All right, so while you're walking throughout the day, I'm gonna have to think about the alacrity thing. I don't think that's something that just goes and goes like a freaking aura in like World of Warcraft or something. Just no. I don't think that'll help you too much in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, you're traveling throughout the day. I will say the...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah! Sepacrod, thank you for that gift sub. To Roger, hopefully I'm saying that right. Or Roger, whatever. Both of those sound cool to me, so... thank you for that gift sub, Sepacrod. Mr. Worth, Mr. Bell,
Mr. Bell.
Mr. Bell Worth.
Just call
Mr.
him
Worth
Roger.
Bell. Yeah, so while you're traveling, stop distracting me. While you're traveling throughout the day, it is a nice day. The weather is actually somewhat agreeable, although it is humid as hell, as per usual.
It's just like Maryland.
I will say, yeah, sure. I will say, you've seen these creatures before, and they're adorable. You see a little flock of flying monkeys flying overhead.
Oh god, flying monkeys are never a good thing.
You've only...
Have you seen Wizard of Oz?
You have seen so many flying monkeys since you've been here, and not a one has attacked you. They're just cute little...
And then
babies.
Wizard of Oz is all I'm
saying.
They're
just cute. Listen, why do you think when I rolled it, I was like, aw, because they're cute, all right? Okay?
Where do the flying monkeys go when it rains? That's all I want to know.
They keep flying
under their
because
airships.
they don't care.
Oh, yay! I'd forgotten about that briefly, and now
flying monkeys work for the
I'm
bourgeoisie.
gonna roll again just to spite you all. I was trying to give you cute flavor text, and you shit all over it. All over it.
Cute is great.
Oh,
I was just
even
thinking
better. This is the role I really wanted. Now I'm really happy. Which one is it? It is that one. Oh, yeah, you know what?
You can find a red dragon and convince him to take us to it.
Now... Oh, that's a lot. Oh, there's no pictures. That makes me sad. I was going to share with you all a picture of the cool... So, basically, you see, instead of terrafolk, you see pteranodons. There's a flock of about 9 of them flying overhead as well. This is later in the day, like as the sun is beginning to set. And yeah, no, they basically just fly overhead. They're kind of high up, but they are not terrafolk. And you can tell terrafolk have like more humanoid features than pteranodons do. But yeah, okay, so it's just more flavor text. That's what I keep rolling for, apparently. So there you go. Your first day passes without incident, and you feel between Iku and Artis being around, and of course with Dee Dee at the helm, guiding the party with her navigation prowess. You feel pretty good about the direction you're heading in, and the intent right now, just as a reminder, because Kirsten wasn't here last time, is to go towards the River Taff, correct? Everybody agreed on that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is me making sure I'm moving your token in the direction it needs to go. So yeah, you camp down for the night. And I'm not going to make you do a watch for this first day. Okay. I would now like, actually, at this point, I'm going to pause. Does anybody have anything they want to do? We can pretend we're in camp mode right now.
I'm tinkering.
You're tinkering.
Yep, I'm praying.
Okay.
I'm just pacing, like I do.
Yeah, I had a feeling you would, because you don't sleep. You kind of run out of things to do.
Yeah, I pray to the lavender.
Okay. Vola, anything?
Vola's not doing anything interesting. She's having an extra long sleep night.
Okay. Awesome. So your day passes by uneventfully. Or your evening does, I should say.
Intuition check?
Yes. I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Juki's a Hadrosaur now.
Yeah, right? Man, these dice are giving me the same things over and over, and I don't want to do that to you all. And they're big tables, too, like...
While you're doing that, I'm gonna ask Ranzit, where does the huge suit of armor go when it rains? No, not when it rains, but when it goes away. Is it in some extra dimensional pocket? How does that work?
pretty much the same as when you cast a spell and it goes away.
Got it. So it's all magical energy. There's none of it that's actual metal.
Oh, it's actual metal. It's just infused with the arcane energy.
Interesting. I'll just like poke at your breastplate a little bit. I'm like, it's kind of small.
Tink, tink, tink.
Tink, tink.
Yeah. Yes, it was many years of study,
I can imagine.
and we had nothing better to do.
I don't know. It seems a pretty admirable pastime.
Well, I appreciate that, and as I said, when you have, I'd rather not talk about it. It was a long time ago.
It's okay. Not everyone can sit in a dark room and write the names of the dead for forever.
That's also a very good point. Yeah.
Forever?
Well, until you die, and then you become one of the names in the book, and you're released. Yay!
Yay.
Yeah, you guys are weird, huh?
Yay. Vola. Sorry, can you just remind me, Vola, how tall are you again?
6'3".
Okay. Just to let you know, Mandii, I rolled a 3,
Okay.
and I rolled another 3 on the D4.
Oh god.
Yeah, I step out in front of Vola, and I am now taller than Vola. I am now 6'6".
Ow.
God.
You're starting to get to like Hibram height here. I think you are at Hibram height now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, now my new goal is obviously to be as tall, if not taller, than Druge.
There you go.
So,
I mean, the way it's going.
Yeah. Friend Yugi, you are now very tall.
I am 6'6" with biceps the size of Bournemouth.
Yay!
There's a
I come
Blackadder
up to
reference for
you
you there. Or?
with my book, like, and I'm like scribbling furiously as I'm staring up at you. I'm like, so, like, do you feel your bones extending during the night? Like, do you get growing pains? What happens here? What's the experience like?
I want to know the answer to this.
It's not as painful as it was a few weeks ago. I'm just going to put it like that. I mean, it seems weird that I keep. I have to admit, it does seem weird that I keep shooting up like this. But you should have seen me a few weeks ago. I used to be about 4'1", 4'2".
Still taller than me, huh? That's fucked up.
I'm gonna whisper to Ranzit. Does his armor, or does their armor grow with them?
That's
So do you wear like stretchy clothes?
That's the point,
Or is that
actually.
yellow spandex? What's going on there? What's the makeup of your clothes? I need the breakdown.
Yeah, I think at this point I've probably got a bare midriff now.
Oh my
You're doing,
god.
Like, the whole
You've got a battle bikini on. I'm just letting you know now.
God.
Chainmail
That's-
bikini.
Hell yeah, chainmail bikini.
chainmail doesn't stretch. I've tried.
I mean, it still has the the gambesons and everything underneath it, but now because I've become this much taller, it's just basically a bare midriff, bare stomach.
Chainmail would indeed pinch.
I roll on the table and I finally get Artis Simber, but you already have him.
Okay, great. Day 2 passes uneventfully.
No.
Damn it.
Hooray!
It's not going to be like those 3 days of peace before we reach.
You hear the distant sound of flapping wing. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
It's a very
Expeditious
familiar
retreat.
smell of. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, cool. This is dope. All right.
Well, we won't try running this time.
Even-
I'll just blast it from the get-go.
Even Dragon Bait is now worried about what you're rolling.
You smell ham just constantly. As you are traveling throughout this next day, I would like a marching order, please, for today.
I think Ranzit or Vola and I are up front.
Yeah.
And I thought Ranzit was taking up the rear with Jugi.
I always
It was usually in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I always stay in the middle for my auras.
Oh, right. Where's Artis and Dragonbait?
Do you guys insist on like staying together with Artis and Dragonbait? Because they're probably ahead. They're probably moving ahead.
I'll follow them.
Okay, so they're probably leading the charge, or at least in line with Druj and Vola. I'll give this to Druj. Druj, when you cut through the next swath of vines and brush with the machete you probably picked up off of one of the many dead adventurers you have found in these jungles.
His name was George. I wrote it down in my book.
His name was George. You find a peculiar sight. And what you see is a small clearing, kind of like, almost like the trees had grown to like form like this little, kind of like a little dome canopy. So it's almost like a little nesting area that you see sometimes in the woods of trees that just happen to grow in just such a way that it forms a dome. And there is a way out on the other side. It's not as though you've come to a dead end or anything of that nature, but in the middle of this place, you see a few things.
I stop walking immediately, by the way.
Yeah. Artis and Dragonbait stop beside you as well, because they see it too.
Does everyone run into
I'll pull my arms
you all
out
have like a complete Three Stooges moment, and you're just like bonk, 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 like knocking into each other.
I walk under Drew's legs.
Yes. So
I just walk between them.
Aww.
I am so small.
So what you see off to the left in this little clearing area is you see like a mess kit and the remains of a fire and a bedroll and like a fallen down tent. And in the middle of this clearing...
yeah.
Up and cover! Thank you for the sub! In the middle of this clearing, you see the rotting body of a giant frog with what appears to be a blade sticking out of its back from the inside.
Is the fire still burning or embersy? Is like somebody stuck inside, maybe?
Do you step into the clearing to investigate?
I want to look at the fire first.
Okay.
Well, go ahead. Is there anything else you want to tell us before we start taking actions?
I will take an investigation check from those who wish to step into the clearing and look around the camp.
Investigation.
I am.
I'm gonna boop. I think Ranzit's probably best, so I'm gonna boop Ranzit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not entering yet.
Yeah, I'm going to investigate because I'm intrigued about that blade that's sticking out.
Okay.
I got a 7, so there you go.
And you said guidance, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, God of Death, guide this gnome in his investigation check.
So that's 4 and natural 20.
Oh my god!
Nice.
And just for the hell of it, I'm going to use Flash of Genius to add 5 to that.
King shit. I love it.
Alrighty then.
Okay, so total
37.
37. All right. Well, you find
I rolled a 10, but go on. Go ahead.
You find it so hard that I dropped my pen. Okay, so where do you look first, Ranzit? And I will tell you everything you see.
Everything.
Yeah, the fire part, I guess, first.
Alrighty.
I was trying to figure out how to change something on D&D Beyond.
That is
I wasn't doing it right.
Oh boy, I'm actually really excited. So you check out the fire, and it is long gone, long burned out. There's little rocks. It looks like somebody had tried to set up like a proper camp, like a long-term, not just for the night. Like had the little stone set up, had a slightly larger stone off to the side, like for sitting on. There's a mess kit, but it's all jumbled. Half of it's still in the mess bag. the rest of it is kind of spilled out next to where the fire once was. There's in one of the little iron pans. There's like long, like it's mostly rotted food. It has mostly been eaten away by bugs and flies and maggots and things of that nature. So it clearly has been here with your incredible investigation check. It has been here at minimum a week. At minimum. It's been here a while.
Right.
Been here a while.
It's been here a while.
Been a while.
Oh my god.
I love you guys so much. I'm just gonna shut up now. Yes. So it looks as though like there's like a backpack and there's a bedroll and there is a tent, but it's completely collapsed. Like perhaps I think you can infer from the mess and the way it is that it's possible that whoever was here was in the middle of putting up their tent and something got knocked over. And now the whole thing is a mess. But you see evidence that somebody has been here for, somebody was setting up like a long-term camp here. There's like a little like wooden, kind of like makeshift wooden stand, like made with relatively green branches, kind of carved to pointed spears, and there's it looks like there were fish kind of on that, but they are also rotted away because they've been, sitting for so long.
Okay.
And that's what you see in the fire/camp area. Anything else you want to look at specifically?
And you said there was the giant frog that had a sword coming from its back?
A blade is poking out of its back, and it appears to be from the inside.
All right. Okay. I'm going to look over to Druge. It appears as somebody was setting up camp, or at least they were in the middle of it. Then I'll look over to the frog, back to the camp. You see that blade sticking out of the frog?
I do.
I'm willing to bet the other end of that is probably our missing person inside the frog.
It's a reasonable
That stands
assumption.
to reason. Am I the only one not in the clearing right at this point?
I don't know.
I'm hanging near you because you're big.
And at this point, I will activate my arcane armor, but Druge will definitely notice that it looks completely different from what it used to look like.
What does it look like?
Yeah, what does it look like?
Now it is no longer like a large, huge, just hulking figure. It's more sleek and more form-fitting looking, if you will, with muted colors, muted a glow. It's not as like bright and vibrant, and the mask, or not the mask, but the helm kind of, conforms tightly to the face, and you start to see horns start to kind of materialize coming up like before, but instead they just curve and like wind back around the back of the helm.
Crazy.
And like he's only about like maybe 3.5 foot tall now.
Can you do that? Can you make it change every time?
More or less.
Yes, more or less, but it requires some time to change.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Huh. I'm gonna still hang back a little bit just on the off chance that something wacky happens.
Okay, so on one side of the clearing, we have Druge standing over Dee Dee. We have Jugi, I don't know what you're doing. Vola, I don't know what you're doing. And then we have Ranzit, who is approaching the frog corpse. The giant frog corpse.
Yeah, I was looking at the frog corpse because of that blade that's sticking out of its back.
Okay.
I only rolled a 10, so I don't know what.
Yeah, I rolled like a 7. So.
Okay. Alrighty. So the three of you are walking over to the dead frog. Okay, that's fine. Ranzit. You turn over this corpse, and basically the frog, upon closer inspection, you see that the frog is cut open, and the partially digested body of a halfling is found inside.
Oh, little short.
That brother. Is not what stands out to you. What stands out to you is the pommel of the blade being held by this corpse of a halfling. It is in the shape of an eye made of ruby. And it glitters in the light as you lean over to look at this. What do? You feel a sense of longing. And it doesn't feel like it is your own. It feels as though it is coming from outside of you, as though somebody else is feeling this feeling.
I'll tell you real quickly what I'm going to do. Shit. I reached and grabbed the sword.
All right.
Wow.
You grab the sword and hold it aloft. This is a silver short sword. It gleams in the light and bears an oblong-shaped pommel containing an intricately carved ruby eye. The hilt is wrapped in dark red leather. And the second it comes into contact with your skin, you realize that this is something that you could attune to if you wished. It is a magical item. You can feel it. Mm-hmm. The ambient magic that comes off of this thing is very clear. And something else about it is very clear. You feel contentment coming from this sword. It's not coming from you. You are feeling these things, but you can feel in your mind that it is not coming from you. It's coming from the blade.
Make an intelligence check real quick.
Sure.
Can I boop him? No, I'm not in the clearing.
You are not in the clearing. No more booping.
I'm just going to assume that I believe this thing might be sentient.
I believe I can fly. Yes. That is a reasonable assumption that this blade is sentient. And I'll have pictures for you shortly. Are you going to identify it?
Yes, I was waiting until you finished describing everything. I'm gonna burn a spell to identify it as soon as I kind of get over the strange feelings that are just kind of like washing over me. It's like, what the? Whoa, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. So you cast. Would you like me to send you the stats, or would you prefer for me to read it for the party? Would you like me to send it to you privately instead? Because I can do that. Options.
Read it.
No, this is up to Bash.
It is.
Man, after that nat 20, I can't roll above a 10. Yeah, just send it to me then, I guess.
Okay. Alrighty, I will do that. Let me copy this over from my other D&D server because this is a custom item that I made.
Ooh, fancy.
Why am I getting Craven Edge feelings here right now?
Boop. And y'all, here's the image. I will share this art with the stream.
Ooh. It's a pretty sword.
Sure.
If by pretty you mean like obviously deadly and evil looking.
Okay, we want... What the heck am I doing? We want... Where is it? There it is. I'm gonna show all the lovely folks at home what we're talking about. With some original art from yours truly. That's me.
Aw.
Yeah.
So let me just make this. Oops, I want to do...
Nice.
Oops.
It's pretty.
So this is the sword that you see. This is what Ranzit is holding.
Should we pretend we don't see what you're calling it?
Yes.
What are you calling it?
I don't know. That's up to Ranzit if he wants to share that with the party.
I saw now. It just took me a second to read it.
But we don't know.
So
Sorry, where is this being posted?
This is your new
on the stream.
This is your new sword. I'll share the art with you guys in the chat. I'll share it here. As well.
Oh, I see it on the stream now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yes, this is the new. It is made of silver, which I think is in the description, just so you know, because in D&D that has very specific effects and meanings. It's not just silver in color; it is made of silver or coated in silver at the very least. And for a short sword, it is a little bit heavy.
Seems to be a little unbalanced on the back end, but you know, good work.
I know a chick like that.
You say that and you feel a sense of displeasure wash over you.
What the hell?
And do you guys come into the clearing now?
I will come into the clearing, and
I will follow after the tall one.
I will write down dead halfling and dead giant frog with their blood in the back of the book.
I'm gonna inspect the halfling corpse.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that. I will say, Dee Dee, when you get within 15 feet of Ranzit, the gem on the pommel of the sword begins to light up like a Christmas tree. And you feel a sense of urgency wash over you, Ranzit, as the sword, while in your hand, even though you haven't attuned to it yet, starts pulling your arm towards the goblin. But you're not like attacking it. It's just like it's like the sword is like jerking your hand forward, and then it stops. But the light is still pulsing from the eye of the sword.
What the?
You got a problem? What's going on there?
May I cast a spell, Mandii?
I don't know. What spell is it?
Calm emotions.
Sure.
I mean, you can cast it on me. It's not me doing it. It's the sword. I'm not doing
what
anything.
I'm going to do is I'm going to cast it. It hits everybody around me, and I'm going to recommend you put the sword down for a moment.
What's the save for that?
The player can choose not to, but unless the sword's taking him over, I guess he may choose not to. So the save is, hold on. It is a charisma save, and you can choose, creature may choose to fail the throw if it wishes.
Ranzit, you may roll for yourself. Jeff, if you would like to roll for your new sword, you may do so.
And that is
Or
everyone within 60 feet of me.
Or I can roll for the sword until you're attuned to it, if you like.
You can roll for it.
Okay.
Mandii, can I use two different effects on the spell at the same time? I think I can.
It depends. Let me take a look.
I'm gonna suppress the effects on everybody else, and I'm gonna use the sword and make it indifferent toward me and Dee Dee.
Okay. Let me take a look. You attempt to suppress strong emotion in a group of people. Each humanoid must make a charisma saving throw. Creature can choose to fail if it wishes. If the creature fails, choose one of the following 2 effects.
So
you can suppress any effect, causing the target to be charmed or frightened. Alternatively, you can make the target you can only choose one.
Well, no, for each person. So I didn't read the last sentence of the first paragraph.
That's for the whole spell, I believe. I don't think you get to pick and choose on a per person basis.
Says if a creature fails its saving throw, choose one of the following 2 effects. So that would apply to each creature.
Bash? Yes, no?
It says humanoid.
Yeah, I mean, it might not work for the sword, so...
Yeah, it's kind of one of those gray areas of as intended or as written.
Yeah, and Mandii, it's your game. You play it however you see fit. I will not argue anything at all.
Is it for humanoid?
That's what it said in the spell.
Yeah, so I'm more worried
about
Rand's
people. Okay, no, that's
fine.
What is
it, calm emotions?
Yeah, it's calm emotions. I will say the sword fails. You can feel that it fails. What's your effect for the sword?
I would just like it to be indifferent toward Dee Dee.
Okay. That doesn't seem to stop it.
Got it.
Roll me an insight check, Druge.
Sure. That'd be 13. You know what? I think I'm gonna blow my...
You can boop yourself for that if you want to.
Okay, good. Let me just boop myself. All right, 15.
Okay. You can infer that it doesn't seem to have affected the sword because the sword doesn't care about you or Dee Dee.
Got it.
And the light gets brighter, and it actually fills this entire little canopy area with a bright red light.
How is Ranzit looking?
Ranzit looks fine. He looks as bewildered as the rest of you at the sword, which he's only been holding for about a minute, so there's no way he is attuned to such a thing as of yet.
Can I make like a history check or something?
Sure. Or Arcana, whichever is, whichever works.
They're both the same.
Okay.
24.
It's clear that this thing is sentient, and sentient items have the tendency to develop very strong personalities, and oftentimes sentient items have a singular purpose and a singular focus. As to what that focus might be, you have no way of knowing as of yet. However, that is something that you do know, not only from your travels, but from your own personal studies as well. Is that things can be imparted with a sense of will.
Would I have any idea where the sword came from? Like, what the origin of the sword is?
That is a good question. It appears
I can assist on that too, maybe.
No, I actually think your roll's good enough, Dee Dee. It is made in... I'm trying to think of how I can word this. It seems to have elements that allude to an elvish style blade, but it is clearly not elven made. It looks like it was inspired by something else. This looks like it was something that was handcrafted and inspired by, I don't know, a variety of things. You see there's like little inlays in the hilt of the sword that are very delicate looking, obviously done by hand. That would allude to like elvish origins, but the style of the blade itself is not elvish. It's more human.
Is Ranzit putting it down?
Yeah, you can drop it if you want to. It's not going to stop. It's not. It doesn't have. It's not. So Jeff, for you, it's not trying to control you or anything.
Yeah, like,
Right.
we don't know that yet, though. So in character, I'm very worried about my friend here.
Of course. No, of course. I'm saying this for Jeff.
Yeah. Like while this is going on, you just see like a small like black Iron Man suited like Rancid or whatever, just kind of with a dirt going, and he'll just stab it in the ground. Like
I will breathe a very large sigh of relief and I guess drop the spell. Well, it's a one-shot deal, so it's not a concentration. What happened?
You drop it?
I stabbed it in the ground.
Oh, okay.
So it like somehow couldn't just fly through the fucking air or something.
Yeah, it's still glowing, but it's starting to fade. Actually, as you let go of this thing, you feel the emotions start to slip away.
Are Artists and Dragonbait responding to any of this?
Dragonbait is very intrigued by this thing. And Artis, I just clicked on the wrong thing. Artis is, let me roll, see what Artis thinks. Artis says, I've seen something like that before. But it didn't look exactly like this. It's just, did you say it was sentient?
Yes.
That's weird. And Dragonbait, my sticky notes. Thank you, Windows, for being such a piece of crap.
It's like, thanks, Artist. That's interesting. That's real helpful.
Well, he's seen things that look like that style, is what he's saying, but he hasn't seen something that's sentient before. Not like this. Dragonbait, however, walks up, and he just kind of, looks pretty curiously at this, and you smell brimstone. And he kind of pokes at it a little bit, and when he touches it, you see like his expression change. And then you smell ham, and he kind of backs away a little bit and looks at it, and just kind of shakes his head.
My best friend doesn't like it, so I do not like it either. Dragonbait's my best friend.
Dee Dee, where is your book right now?
On me, strapped to my back.
Okay. Thanks. That's all I needed to know.
She just asked with a, or so you thought.
Or so you thought.
It is almost as large as me. It is very hard to misplace it.
Yeah, it's about as heavy as you are as well.
I'm guessing this can't be classified as a creature, even though it's sentient.
You do not know. You have no way of knowing.
Right.
Can I do a religion check and see if it's tied to any sort of religion?
Sure.
Just out of curiosity. I'm going to boop myself, too. Never mind, I don't need to. I got a 19 without even booping myself.
Okay. You, do you pick it up to look at it, or do you just look at it?
I get close to it, but no, I do not touch the damn thing.
So just with a cursory glance, you don't see any religious symbology on this blade. Of what you can see of it.
After hearing them saying it's sentient, just out of curiosity, Jugi is going to try to telepathically communicate to the sword, see whether it can make a connection.
When you attempt to do that, you hear nothing. You feel nothing. Because you're just standing there trying to reach out to it with your mind, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, pretty much.
You feel nothing.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Well, I can't seem to... No, it doesn't seem that sentient. I can't seem
Jugi,
to
roll me an
communicate, so-
insight check.
Reach out and touch swords.
Oh God.
You'll be saying it all night, aren't you?
How did you know my inspiration for this?
I rolled a natural 1. I think I can't tell because my notes with like the number of inspirations on my other PC, which is currently offline at the moment due to overheating. But I think I've got 1 inspiration left. Can I use that here?
Yes.
Okay. Are you sure?
I will allow it because I am a
That's
kind
better.
and benevolent DM. Remember.
That's better. 22.
Oh, that's very good. You have a feeling that you need to be in physical contact with this item in order to reach its mind.
Okay.
Or in close proximity, if not touching it.
Okay.
Mandii, would we realize whether the wisest of us or the smartest of us should be the ones to pick this up?
You don't.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
it
go.
does.
I'm gonna go up to it.
Okay.
I look at Ranza asking, kind of looking at him to say, "I'm just gonna try something."
By all means, go for it.
Okay.
I will step like 10 feet away.
I'm going to
hold
hide behind Rouge.
what I assume is a short sword, but now I'm so tall, it's probably a dagger now. But
Yeah, right. So you
Um,
pick it up, you pull it out of the ground,
Yep.
and you hold it aloft. Okay. So you
Yep.
hold it up, and immediately, Dee Dee, how far away do you walk?
I don't know how far my standing since she's right behind me.
Druge, how far away do you walk?
I'm like 5 feet away, so
Okay.
you know, if he wants to turn around, he could probably hit me with the sword, or the sword could probably hit me.
So as soon as you pick up the sword, a sense of longing, a sense of hunger washes over you. The sword lights back up again, and the light fills the dome. And you feel yourself being gently tugged toward where Druge and Dee Dee are standing.
Oh shit! And I'm gonna bolt away.
But you can see that like the sword's not trying to swing; it's willing you to move forward.
okay. Okay. I am going to keep. I'm going to move in the direction it seems to be willing me to move forward.
Dee Dee, could you run around the dome, the outside, real quick? I just want to test something.
As I'm walking forward, I'm saying I don't think it's trying to attack or anything. It just seems
I'm
to.
gonna anyway. I'm gonna cast mage armor on myself just in case.
Dee Dee, I have a question about the book on your back.
Yeah.
You said it's strapped onto your back.
Yes.
Do the straps go over the book to hold it onto your back?
Yes. And the book is locked with multiple locks.
Okay.
I'm just picturing Dee Dee floating through the air on the back of a book now, but anyway.
Okay, now that I'm holding the sword, I'm
Well-
going to try and telepathically communicate and to again ask.
Okay, what?
Hi, buddy.
You say hi to the sword?
Hey, buddy.
Hello, new friend, magic sword.
I mean, just because it's heading towards someone doesn't mean you can't be polite. You know, about it. I basically think, what purpose here in my mind?
All you feel is hunger and longing. There's no words. But the feeling, when you open up your mind to communicate with the sword, it overwhelms you. It's not that it changes your emotions to match its emotions. It's that it is imposing the way it feels onto you, onto the way you feel and onto the way you perceive the world. So you are still feeling the way you feel and having your own thoughts, but this thing is overwhelmingly just bombarding you with these feelings.
Is this the sword of crossing personal boundaries? Is that what this sword is?
Henry
No,
Crabgrass
that's not
wouldn't
it.
allow it.
it's not longing like that, you fucking pervs. It's a desire for something. What you do not know.
I was thinking like a emotional vampire more than anything.
Well, maybe not vampire. It's more of like the reverse of that. Instead of sucking away emotions, it is imposing emotions upon you.
Rude.
Okay.
It's very uncomfortable and disorienting.
Yeah.
You imagine if you were to attune to this thing, that you'd probably get used to it. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. But right now, because you opened up your mind and you're trying to like interface with it, it's like bombarding you with this. You get the sense that it cannot communicate any other way based off your insight check from earlier. You get a feeling that it can't communicate any other way.
Oh.
I just want you to know how it feels.
Yeah, I mean, I relayed to the party. It seems to be a sense of hunger and longing. So either it wants to eat you or hug you. I'm not unsure. I'm not sure.
I don't want either of those. Keep the fuck away from me.
Juki, can you put it down if you wish to?
Can I try to put it down?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I put it down.
All those emotions you were feeling, gone.
The
light fades.
Yeah, it's not really my kind of weapon.
No, but it is Rand's kind of weapon.
Yeah, it doesn't feel cursed to me, but I suspect Jugi would be a better judge of that.
I don't know. Does Jugi have anything that would be able to determine such a thing? I mean, Rancid did identify.
Well, I mean, if we rest and I'm able to change my spells, I could set up maybe a spell or two.
I thought you could remove curses if you needed to.
Yeah, but that's different from being able to sense if something is cursed or not.
No, I understand. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm also not sure I have the level. I'm at the right level to be able to do that as well.
Druge, you could get that. You could get that spell. Remove curse, I think.
Yeah, you can get curse, I think, at your level.
Yeah, I think that will be double. Yeah, Druge would be. I won't be able to until.
I think what I'm saying though is, Ranzit, if you would like to take a little. So there's no good way to say this.
What?
If you would like to attune to the item. I don't think it will cause any lasting harm that we can't remove if we need to.
I mean, what I can also do is, there's a spell called Detect Evil and Good. So, normally it allows you to do. It tells me if there's.
You're overthinking this. Call.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it says if there is a place or object within 30 feet of me that is magically.
The DM is telling you you're overthinking this. Call.
All right.
Take a nap. Take a nap and wait. Attune to it overnight.
Okay, I say, Ranzit, if you want to take this, I'm happy to let you have it. It's quite a lot of emotion towards it.
Yeah, I got that sense as well. To backtrack a little bit, when did Dee Dee find anything on the halfling body? Because that kind of got.
Oh yes. Anything that might have been of value has clearly been destroyed or eroded away by the acidic nature of the frog.
Okay. While all this crazy sword talk and everything's going on, I'm gonna go check out the actual camp location.
Furious Trouble. It's an STD, but not a serious STD.
Not a serious one.
DM, please touch grass. Players insert always sunny red string map board meme. Oh my god. So you spend time in attune to the Dirk?
Sure, why not?
Awesome.
What's the worst that could happen?
Nothing really. So,
How's
Rancid,
Dee Dee taking this?
I would like to go over to the frog and try to extract some of the stomach acid into one of my vials.
Oh yeah, you can totally do that. 100%.
Dope.
I'll cut out the poison glands with you. That's what friends do. They help friends cut out poison
Vola
glands.
is standing watching them do this and is just like, she's grossed out.
It's not that bad, Vola, Vola. Calm down.
How many zombies and like rotting corpses have you fought? She's grossed
Yeah,
out by
but
frogs.
I mean, yeah, but going after stomach acid, it's just too much.
It's for science.
Oh,
You never dissected a frog in school.
in high school, yeah, in Chilton High School.
That's what they had us
Chilton
do at
High
Goblin
School.
Community College.
At
my
the
God.
GCC.
GCC.
GCC represent.
Oh.
The fact that you did it in the voice, I can't. While this is happening, when you're done extracting whatever acid, stomach acid, poison, whatever you want, Dragonbait, an artist, will offer to take the corpse away so you guys can kind of clean up this campsite. And Iku says, well, we could keep pushing. We could stay here and just rest since the day is nearly over anyway. Because you've spent probably entirely too long staring at the sword.
How bad does it stink, the rotting frog corpse?
I mean, once you like kick some dirt around and like move the corpse away, it's not, you know. Artists and Dragonbait take it away, and you're out in the open. Well, not open, but you're outside, so it dissipates quickly-ish. You kind of cover it with some like grass and like dirt where the body was, and it's not too terrible.
I like it here. It's kind of homey.
Yeah, you could like throw away the crap in the mess kit and the old rotted fish and take away all the things that are causing the smells, and you can just kind of clear the air a little bit. Little prestidigitation never hurt anybody. Just kind of
A hag, maybe.
Good way not
hag,
to
yeah.
attract, carrion things.
Yeah, exactly. So Iku kind of looks at the party and she's like, "Do you want to camp here? I mean, it's
Sure,
pretty
let's do it.
It's pretty
As well.
guardable as long as you're bigger than a giant frog, which we are."
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to designate first watch.
What do you mean? Oh, you're going to designate.
I am.
Oh,
but
instead
I
of us.
am going to say
Got it.
Vola and Ranzit.
Oh, well, there you go.
Ranzit.
I didn't do it. Yes.
We'll say
You're about to.
you've built yourselves a little fire. You've put up your tents for the evening to have a nice meal and relax for a little bit. You took it a little bit easier today than you normally would, and you spend time with the sword. And before long, you feel the connection solidify.
Is Lionel Richie playing in the background?
While this is happening, Dee Dee, what are you doing? You're muted.
Staying as far away from that gnome as possible.
Okay. But what are you doing while you are
Sitting there
staying away?
Staring. I'm staring at him.
You're just staring. You're not doing anything else.
Nope. Nope.
All right, that's cool. I rolled a little something earlier that will solve the problem
Sweet.
that I'm encountering, so that's fine.
Oh boy.
Ranzit,
Yes.
your connection with the sword solidifies. And immediately the eye lights up. And you find that the sword is now in your hand. And you think you could let it go, but maybe not. As it pulls you forward towards the goblin with the book. Now, two things happen. You are not pointing the sword. The sword is not pointing at Dee Dee. The sword is in your hand, and your hand So, like, the sword is probably pointing down, like you just picked it up, and the blade is pointing down at the ground. Your hand is being pulled.
Okay.
So you're holding the sword in a very awkward way, and it is pulling your entire body into motion towards this goblin. Second thing that happens. Dee Dee! The straps on your back break. All of the locks fall off of the book, and the book opens.
Oh no, my secrets.
And the book levitates.
Hey, you come back here. What are you doing?
It floats above you. You try to grab at it, and it just escapes your grasp.
What are you doing?
You're too short to reach it. Ranzit, you stop about 5-10 feet away from Dee Dee. And you find yourself flipping the blade in your hand so that the blade is... Well, actually, no, the pommel is already up. So you're holding it up. The eye just pulses, and it gets brighter and brighter and brighter, and the book begins to flip through the pages forwards and backwards. Again and again. And the light looks like a scanner going across the pages of the book.
Hey!
Every single page, every single note, everything.
Is this making any noise or loud?
The pages are fluttering like a book being blown in the wind.
Is this waking us up? Is basically what.
No.
So I see this going on, right?
Yeah, you totally see this happening.
So because I'm dumb, I can reach the book in midair. Yes, I can reach it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm upset for Dee Dee because she's obviously very distraught over her book being taken off of her back and her secrets being revealed.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been very nice to me, so I want to help her out.
Okay.
So I try to grab the book out of midair.
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
All right.
So, like, what is it trying to do? Is it trying to read my secrets? Because I don't
15.
write in common or anything like that.
Nice.
15.
You manage to grab the book, but just before you do, it slams shut and falls into your hand. The light begins to fade, and that feeling of hunger and longing subsides.
Okay. I go over and I hand the book back to Dee Dee, and I say, "Here's your book, Dee Dee."
Thank you, Viola. Look in my book, like pressed to my chest, even though it's very big, so it's like this. I'm like, why did you do that? I'll give the book as I walk away. Start locking it. Did it want knowledge? Was it
I have
hungry
no
for
idea.
knowledge? Feel violated.
Oh, they're there, and then I'll walk back to where we were.
Oh well, la-di-da.
Ranzit, what do you do with the sword?
Looking at it, trying to figure out what the hell just happened.
Yeah. Interesting, right? Roll me an Arcana check.
You have like a rogue scanner.
This sword was actually originally made for a rogue.
Sounds about right. Yeah, Arcana, you say?
Correct.
So, 23.
This is what you would call a collector. And its special item appears to be books and knowledge. You can infer from what you have just experienced that if this sword picks up on things that it wants to know, it will take you there. As long as you are attuned to it. You'll be in for a wild ride anytime it picks up something it wants.
How do we make it interested in the death curse?
Is there a book on the death curse?
Very wonderfully
but
timed
apparently
stores for my
it's-
dog. That's great. I love it.
Yeah, apparently it's preferred.
Wait, is Juge awake? Or...
No, he was just table talking.
All
Yep.
right.
Nope, just sleeping.
Snore.
Snore.
I thought you were asking him a question. I thought you were.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna go back over to my corner and try to repair the straps that were broken
Aw.
with some Faerunian duct tape.
Which you totally have.
Faerunian.
Yep.
If in doubt, Faerunian duck it.
Yep. 100%.
Can I mend them for her when I get up to take my watch?
Wait, what?
Can I cast the cantrip mend on them when I get up to take my watch?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. They're like clean cuts. And the locks aren't broken either. They were just knocked open.
Like somebody cast a knock spell.
Almost as
sword.
if. Almost as if.
Almost.
Yeah, Bash, I have to give you a leveled up version of the stats that I gave you. There's actually more to it than that.
Okay.
When Druge wakes up for his watch, I'm gonna toddle over to him with my book. Toddle, toddle, toddle.
I will see.
Hello, tall one. Can you fix this for me?
Of course I can.
Thanks.
Death fixes everything, and I'll
Sure does.
utter a prayer
Shut
in
up,
abyssal, and then they mend.
Death is cleansing.
Yes, you are easily able to mend the straps of Dee Dee's book bag.
Truth, how death.
I mean, it is kind of the answer to everything.
It is. It really is.
It's the ending for all things, at least.
Welcome to my favorite item that I have ever created. There's this and so much more in store. So yes, you have a lovely new toy, Rancet.
Excellent.
Oh God.
Yeah, I have to give you the updated version. This is like the level 3 version of the Dirk.
Okay.
Cool.
So I have to give you the one that's leveled up. Yes,
Awesome.
I make items that level.
So it's like a vestige then.
Kinda.
So when I pull it up in the inventory, it says levels with character. Never mind.
I haven't put it into D&D Beyond yet. I'm gonna have to program a little something for Bash. I don't have it
Cool.
in D&D Beyond as of yet. Still working on that. So Drew,
I'm still trying to figure out what the hell the sword wanted, so, other than knowledge. So.
My secrets.
What secrets?
It saw a book. That's what you're inferring from this. It saw a book and got excited about the book.
When it was flipping through like the pages, some of like my sticky notes that I had like
Totally.
popped off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like frantically trying
read
to put
those
them back
too.
in places.
It read those
Like,
too.
ugh,
Yeah.
never gonna be the same.
Sticky note flew out, but like paused in midair to get scanned, and then fluttered still around.
I'm gonna try something.
Hide your recap journals, everyone.
I'm gonna take, when I get up to take my watch after I mend Dee Dee's straps, I will hold out my book.
So
To the sword.
I have a question for you about your book.
Sure.
Dee Dee's book has like journal entries and research and all kinds of information in the book. you know, she documents everything she does and things that she discovers in this book, so it really is a tome of knowledge. What kind of stuff do you put in the book? Is it just the names? Or is there more to it?
It is literally just name after name. This name, and if I don't have a name, it's dead halfling. But it's always written in their own blood, if I can.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's a little bit of like really awful map making somewhere in it, I'm sure.
Well, Ranzit is sleeping, and you don't see any evidence of light occurring.
I will sadly sit down and just take my book out.
I mean, you don't actually know what the Dirk did, so unless Dee Dee described it to you, like, oh my god, the fucking thing happened. Okay.
I'm gonna tell him, and I'm gonna be like, it was very violating. I just didn't even ask permission. It could have asked. I would have let it have it if it asked.
Huh.
Probably not. That's a lie.
I don't know what to make of it. It has been aggressive, but not dangerous.
I mean, I can't fault it for wanting knowledge. I too crave knowledge, so I get it.
Indeed.
Jesus, it was a little too much. Broke my straps. Lucky
I'm
it didn't
very
lift
sorry.
me off the ground and fucking wheel me around like a saucer.
The dog is upside down with his feet in the air.
Yay.
That's how Dee would have been if the fucking thing lifted her off the ground.
I love it. It's just like,
I will. I'll just sit and contemplate the nature of death.
Your watches all pass by. I'm gonna be nice today, uneventfully.
Aw.
He's next, day 3.
Ranzit.
Up for day 3.
Yes.
If only the recipient of that sword was as benevolent on Thursdays as you are. Suck it, Bash.
My lord.
I'm gonna pay for that later, I just know it. Yeah, don't nod at the camera, don't say that. That's not nice. Okay, so anyway. You had your little discovery, you got yourself a new thing. You don't have any weird dreams or anything like that. What do you do with the sword while you're sleeping? Like, where do you put it?
Good question.
Cradles it like a teddy bear.
Where do swords go when it rains?
Oh my fucking god. Every time. Where do rocks go when it rains? Where do the trees go when it rains? Where do the terraform go?
Where does chalk go?
Let's find out. At least for this night.
Do you just kind of prop up your weapons like next to your bedroll or whatever?
On my person. Like I'll probably be sleeping with it, like, you know, like I'm holding on to it like I fell asleep studying it or something like.
As long as it's not keystood, then that's fine.
Nope, that's good. That's fine. Do you keep it on your belt, like when you get up and get ready and all that for the day?
Probably just to,
Okay.
you know, until figure out more what the hell this thing is all about.
Yeah. The location of the sword matters, so I'll need you to help me keep tabs on that.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that after game.
Sounds good.
So yeah. Are you ready for day 3 of travel?
After another mutation check, then.
Oh yes.
Give it up for day 3.
Ika says that you're close to the river Tath, by the way.
When I do get up after, you know, doing breakfast and all that stuff, I will activate my infiltrator armor again.
Okay. My dice went flying.
After the roll, should we do a break?
Yes. I rolled a 19, so you don't get a...
No. Nope. Okay.
No mutation for today. So before we get into navigating and all that stuff, I know it's a little bit early for break time, but I think this is a perfect time to stop. We normally go at 11, but that's okay. I really don't care. So we'll take a little break now. I could use a good little stretch and walk around. So we will be back in about 10 minutes. We've got a lovely little halftime video for you all to watch, and we will see you in 10. Bye-bye.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Now it's showtime, folks. And you can be sure it's the best show in town. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome.
Who's setting up shop? We got a cleric paladin who's also setting up shop. We're gonna call our consortium Praetor's Haberdashery Consortium. We don't sell hats.
Is we don't sell hats part of the name?
No, I just thought I'd clarify.
I like it better if it was part of the name. Yeah, me too.
Oh,
that would be very funny.
I'm the head of it, so like we could add that to the name.
We will then. We're gonna have shirts made. I gotta get their portraits all put together, and we're gonna have merchandise.
Oh my god!
This is gonna be awesome.
Praetor's Haberdashery Consortium. Parentheses. We don't sell hats.
I would buy one of those shirts.
It's intermission. Rise and stretch time. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for hot popcorn? Your favorite soft drinks are sparkling cold. The juicy Frank sizzling hot. There's delicious coffee, freshly brewed, and all kinds of ice cream and candy to tempt you. Showtime will be announced loud and clear to get you back to your car in time. So stretch your legs. Come to the snack bar now.
They don't really apply to level 0 characters.
They don't? Okay. All right. So then I won't grab them. I thought that crit might be that extra one. Okay. So here's the regular damage. Oh, say good night, Francis. Oh, that's Chip. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, Chip.
Suck it, Chip.
Whoops. I thought
I'm sorry, sir. This is a private mountain.
But I only wanted
This mountain is reserved for patrons.
But
it's a supply depot for all sorts of good things, which people can get at the snack bar. Like soft drinks, candy bars of all kinds, delicious popcorn, and refreshing ice cream treats.
But I am a patron.
Well, why didn't you say so? Be our guest.
Through, and you're kind of at a point where you can't really wedge your way in there anymore. You're like,
here, boy. Here, boy. Come. Here, boy. You can do it. Come on.
Yes, sir. May I help you?
I'd like 2 of those, please.
Hot dogs? Yes, sir.
And 3 of those. And 1 of those. And 5 bars of these. And a cup of that nice hot liquid.
Coffee. Coming right up.
Oh, and 2 bags of those peculiar white coffee material.
You mean our crunchy popcorn? Shall I wrap that for you, sir?
Oh, that's all right. My saucer's just outside.
They come from miles to enjoy our intermission.
I'm terribly sorry. Bjorn, you explode, and in your place is a sweet roll.
Nice.
Hello there. Give the demonstration of my new invention, the goodies machine. The machine turns out delicious hot doggies one after the other. And thirst-quenching sodas also. Gives popcorn of the most tasty kind, plain unbuttered. Candy too, crunchy and dandy. Steaming hot coffee and ice cream too. These goodies are at our snack bar, just waiting for you.
Private messenger. And do you know how to do that in Facebook? I mean, in Facebook, whatever. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell?
At least Facebook is still around hundreds of years into the future.
Why mess with a good thing?
Go ahead and
right?
clip that one, guys. You can send that one to me later, too. Thanks a lot.
As everyone knows, rainbows usually have a treasure at the end. Let's follow this one and see if we can find the pot of gold.
Oh, there, and I suppose you've come to claim me treasure.
Well, we'd like to see the gold first.
Ethan, there's better than gold in here, me lad. No, just look here, no.
Candy, refreshing soft drinks, popcorn, ice cream. Well, that's some treasure, but anyone can buy luscious treats like these at the snack bar.
You don't tell me. Do you suppose you could get me a job as a snack bar attendant?
Brass knuckles he's wearing, and the creature just.
How did the creature go?
One more time.
What? One more time?
No, that was it.
Like you crave that corn when it's freshly bobbed, you gotta beat it to the box with the butter on the top. Get with it, man, start strolling down to the sweets that set you rolling, the best in town. Our candy's real gone, if I'm understood. To all you squares, that means the confection is positively delicious. Cork that stuff, give me 5, let me send you into this nutty jive. Go, man, go! It ain't very far. Shake it on down to this cool snack bar. Come on, Jill, give us a treat. A friendly pepper-upper with a tasty beat.
Drink Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper, 'cause it never lets you down.
Frosty, man, frosty.
People, we might be able to take care of that. I
I'm
understand.
gonna sing the doom song now.
Oh, God.
Doom, 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 da doom, doom, da doom, da doom, doom, da doom, 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 da doom, doom, da doom, doom. Doomy, 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 doom, doom, doom. The end.
Music to the ears of the hungry. The sizzle of a mouth-watering hamburger. Fresh, lean beef, done to a golden brown, couched in a soft bun, and garnished to taste. Man, that's hunger heaven. And you'll feel like you're heaven sent when you get one at our refreshment stand.
Happen. Let me see. Is there a deception check for a horse? Does a horse have a? Ooh, it's going for the
deception for a horse.
Yeah, a horse has got
love it.
deception. So the horse goes up, and you see it. It's looking a brief second. It looks at the plant like maybe it's something even tastier, but then it sticks out his tongue and it pulls back, and then it backs up. It's got the sugar cube in its mouth, and its eyes go boing, as his eyes just go, and it starts woo, and it starts bucking, and it just. and he was looking at something in his hand, and he is standing up, and he grunts out, "Who the F are you? What are you doing here?"
Housekeeping?
Housekeeping.
Oh my god.
Your attention, please. All new hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.
She had red whelps and skin was looking all grotesque and all that, and she let out a little bit of a mumble roar, leveled the gun at everybody in the room there, and that was where we cut last week. So that was where we'll pick up the action now, unless there are any questions or anything else that the group would like to add.
I have a question.
Please ask away.
What is a mumble roar?
Mumble roar? Yeah, well, yeah, you know.
Settle back now, content, comfortable, well-fed, and ready for some fine entertainment. Is everybody happy? Then let's go. It's showtime.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Now it's showtime, folks. And you can be sure it's the best show in town. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome.
Who's setting up shop? We got a cleric paladin who is also setting up shop. We're going to call our consortium Praetor's Haberdashery Consortium. We don't sell hats.
Is we don't sell hats part of the name?
No, I just thought I'd clarify.
I like it better if it was part of the name. Yeah, me too.
Oh,
that would be very funny.
I mean, I'm the head of it, so like we could add that to the name.
Yeah, we will then. We're going to have shirts made. I got to get their portraits all put together, and we're going to have merchandise.
Oh my god.
This is going to be awesome.
Praetor's Haberdashery Consortium, parentheses, we don't sell hats.
I would buy one of those shirts.
It's intermission. Rise and stretch time. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for hot popcorn? Your favorite soft drinks are sparkling cold. The juicy Frank sizzling hot. There's delicious coffee, freshly brewed, and all kinds of ice cream and candy to tempt you. Showtime will be announced loud and clear to get you back to your car in time. So stretch your legs. Come to the snack bar now.
They don't really apply to level 0 characters.
They don't? Okay. All right. So then I won't grab them. I thought that crit might be that extra one. Okay. So here's the regular damage. Oh, say good night, Francis. Oh, that's Chip. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, Chip.
Suck it, Chip.
Whoops. I thought
telling me. I'm sorry, sir. This is a private mountain. But I only wanted it. This mountain is
is reserved for patrons.
But
it's a supply depot for all sorts of good things, which people can get at the snack bar. Like soft drinks, candy bars of all kinds, delicious popcorn, and refreshing ice cream treats.
But I am a patron.
Well, why didn't you say so? Be our guest.
Through, and you're kind of at a point where you can't really wedge your way in there anymore. You're like,
Here, boy. Here, boy. Come. Here, boy. You can do it. Come on.
Yes, sir. May I help you?
I'd like 2 of those, please.
Hot dogs? Yes, sir.
And 3 of those. And 1 of those. And 5 bars of these. And a cup of that nice hot liquid.
Coffee. Coming right up.
Oh, and 2 bags of those peculiar white coffee material.
You mean our crunchy popcorn? Shall I wrap that for you, sir?
Oh, that's all right. My saucer's just outside.
They come from miles to enjoy our intermission.
I'm terribly sorry. Bjorn, you explode, and in your place is a sweet roll.
Nice.
I've always done it.
Hello there. Give the demonstration of my new invention, the goodies machine. The machine turns out delicious hot doggies one after the other. And thirst-quenching sodas also. Gives popcorn of the most tasty kind, plain unbuttered. Candy too, crunchy and dandy. Steaming hot coffee and ice cream too. These goodies are at a snack bar just waiting for you.
Private messenger. And do you know how to do that in Facebook? I mean, in Facebook, whatever. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell?
At least Facebook is still around
Wow.
hundreds of years into the future.
Hey, why mess with a good thing,
Go ahead
right?
and clip that one, guys. You can send that one to me later, too. Thanks a lot.
As everyone knows, rainbows usually have a treasure at the end. Let's follow this one and see if we can find the pot of gold.
Oh, there, and I suppose you've come to claim me treasure.
Well, we'd like to see the gold first.
Nathan, there's better than gold in here, me lad. No, just look here, no.
Candy, refreshing soft drinks, popcorn, ice cream. Well, that's some treasure, but anyone can buy luscious treats like these at the snack bar.
You don't tell me. Do you suppose you could get me a job as a snack bar attendant?
Brass knuckles he's wearing, and the creature just.
How did the creature go?
One more time?
What? One more time?
No, that was it.
Somebody's muted.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, great.
I don't know, but I will add while you're doing that, that when Kirsten said, I don't take up that much space, Kirsten, you and Dee Dee are melding into the same person in my brain.
Victory!
Death, I was.
What we were saying while we were muted was that we are all gonna go live in the UK to be with Matt and visit him and party with him, and we're all gonna live in his house. He's already agreed. I've said it live on stream. It's being recorded, therefore it is legally binding, and you agree.
Even though it's not a house, it's just basically a 1-bedroom flat with just a bedroom.
Perfect. More than enough space for all of us.
We can reprise the bathhouse scene.
Oh God.
Well, it's a good thing I set up my little entertainment corner with all my PlayStations. At least you won't be bored by it. But yeah, just to answer your question, Seth, the UK Games Expo, subject to COVID, is in 5 days. So
well, I guess we're not coming in 5 days.
No, not 5 days. Yes. Hi, everybody.
But for all of our viewers in the UK, if you want to go play games and you're vaccinated and you think it's a wise decision, you should check it out because UK Games Expo is pretty cool.
yeah, it's based in Birmingham though, so there's a lot of travel involved.
I'm nodding like I know geography.
Birmingham is basically the city where everyone talks like this, you know. They have this
like this, you know.
They really have this sort of depressing accent sounding where they just keep moaning about things all the bloody time. I mean, if they go on a quiz show, they'd end up winning like a motorboat, and it's not very good in the city, is it?
Can we just do like a stream some night where it's just you talking in different accents?
Please, I would pay money for that. No joke at all. I would absolutely pay money for that. Okay, it is dawn of the final day. No, I'm just kidding. It's morning. You had a nice, mostly uneventful evening.
Violated.
Mostly uneventful.
Aww.
Jeannie feels violated. Her book of secrets got read, supposedly, by the silver dirk that Ranzit found.
When you guys wake up in the morning, you find that, and you look over at Dee Dee, you see that another lock has been added, and another strap has also been added for extra security.
Jugi's like, morning all, did anything happen last night?
You don't even want to know, goblin adjacent one. You don't even want to know. She like storms off.
Aw.
No, nothing really out of the ordinary or exciting, so.
Oh, okay. What's for breakfast?
Insight check. Just kidding.
Yeah. Apparently the sword is a voracious reader.
Apparently.
Perhaps. That is a good way of putting it.
It is. It's a sort of voracious reading.
It's a sort of voracious read. It reads things.
Apparently.
Yeah.
It wanted to read the book, Dee Dee's book, so badly it was somehow able to break the straps that held it to her back.
I don't even know how it read do things in code. I don't even know how would it figure it out. Fucking swords, magical sentient beings.
Well, if it Jiggy goes, well, if he wants a good read, and he pulls out his journal and he says, if the sword would like to read about the Light of Lathander,
is it a religious text for Lathander, or is it your journal?
It's a it's basically a diary to Lathander, with a lot of religious.
Are you there, God? It's me, Lathander.
Do you hold the book up when you say that?
I hold the book up, yeah.
Ranzit. The sword lights up.
Oh, shit, here we go again.
And it tugs you. Urgently.
No, trust me. Just listen. You'll hear all about the Light of Lathander. You don't need to go fucking read the goddamn book.
It pulls you. Like you dig your heels in, and your heels drag across the ground and kick up the dirt as it drags you, literally, physically, your whole body to the book.
No, God damn it, Dirt! No, just fucking listen. Trust me, you'll hear all about this Light of Lathander.
The light.
Yes, sir. Come towards
constant.
Come towards the light.
No, don't go towards the light. It's a trap. I tell you, it's a trap.
Sedan, walk towards the light.
You feel the sense of hunger and longing and excitement and all these things, wanting all these things, and as
I swear, it's like the fucking sword the goddamn teenager. Fucking stop!
You hold the book up, Jugi, while this is happening. The sword literally drags Ranzit. I mean, Ranzit's not big, so it's pretty easy. Literally drags Ranzit across the camp, leaving little tracks in the dirt of where his heels are completely dug into the ground. And the sword, the book floats out of your hand and opens. And the light from the sword does the same thing that it did last night. It flips through the pages very quickly, and the light seems to wash over the pages of the book.
Lathander is holding the book for the sword.
Yes, we'll go with that.
That's so funny to me. Oh my god. Yep, believe that. Please continue to believe that. I love it. It's totally Lathander, 100%. And when it is done, the book closes.
Yuki, do you think you could
Welcome,
convert
Raiders!
the book?
Proficiency bonus with a party of 14. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Can I get a shout out for thank you? You already did that. Awesome, thank you. Welcome on in, Raiders. Hope your game was good. Tell us all about it. We're playing Tomb of Annihilation this evening. And the party has just found a very interesting sword that likes books.
And I'm trying to convince the paladin that he can that they can convert the sword and maybe even the book.
It becomes a holy sword now.
So when the Dirk is done reading, the book gently closes and falls back into your hand.
Well, I hope you had a good read. And
maybe you converted another.
And it's illuminated by the light of Lathander. Anyway, what's for breakfast?
Ika's like, rations again, unless you want to go hunting.
I like rations.
You just see Dee Dee fucking lob an egg into her mouth and crunch on it.
crusty old donut.
Do we have any more artisanal aged at sea Nana Toppins donuts?
Probably not.
Yes.
Rosie had
5.
some.
Rosie had them.
Rosie had some. Dee Dee doesn't.
I have 5.
You have 5 left? Okay.
Yes.
I'm glad you're keeping a tally of how many crusty-ass, moldy donuts you still have on you.
They have so many preservatives in them, they don't get moldy.
Magical preservatives
I go
from
hunting.
Nana Toppins.
I'm just eating rations. I'm happy with my rations.
Yeah, so that all happens. When the book is done, Ranzit, you feel a sense of satisfaction and smugness.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Perhaps a bit of amusement as well.
At this point, I'm just wondering, so who else has any fucking books in their goddamn inventories? So we can go ahead and get this over with now, so not, out of the blue.
I then suddenly realized, Judy actually suddenly realizes something and says, it doesn't relay any information from the book to you, does it?
Oh.
Okay. No, that's fine.
At least not yet. I mean, everything I know about the Light of Lathander has come from hearing you speak of it.
Because Mandii, the other thing that the book has, it has the information as to why I'm here in the first place, obviously.
Yep. It also has information about a relatively new race in it, meaning you.
I'm gonna dejectedly try one more time. I'll chomp down the last little bit of my rations, and I'll hold the book up. Huh?
The process starts again.
Woo!
Druge, when you held out your book yesterday, Ranzit had already gone to bed. The sword did not see the book.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
The entire contents of the book is lists of dead things.
Yep.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
It doesn't flip back and forth as much as the other ones. It goes forward once, backwards twice, closes the book, and puts it in your hand.
Not that difficult to read.
Nope.
And Vola looks at all this and just gestures toward Ranzit and goes, I don't read.
I don't read. Who reads? Reading is for squares.
It's like, Vola, don't take this the wrong way at all. Thank you.
What are Iku and Artis and Dragonbait thinking of all of this ridiculousness?
They think it's fucking weird. Iku is like, well, it only seems to care about books. So maybe it's not bad, is what she's trying to say. Maybe it's not bad. Maybe it's just hungry.
I'm gonna apologize to Ranzit in advance. I'm gonna reach into my pack and pull out the map that Sidrus gave me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good, because I was about to say, when you say that, just remember the height difference there between you two.
Yeah.
To be fair, Dee Dee does have a map that she has been updating frequently of Cholt.
You do?
Yes.
Was it in your book?
It's part of the book. Yeah, it's part of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You could probably sell that for quite a lot of gold back at the time.
I don't want this to happen at an inopportune time, so I'm offering it up to the sword now.
You see the eye kind of pulse, and then turns off.
And is there anything else that could make this happen at a very inopportune time?
You don't know.
I'm asking people around me.
Well, to be honest, I
don't know. Bit of knowledge is written down.
You see what Artis and Iku are carrying. I don't know.
I mean, Ranzit is sitting there thinking to himself, like, okay, don't open my book anymore.
I mean,
doesn't
to be honest,
Ranzit have?
Yeah, don't you carry a book around?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you taken it out today?
Nope.
Okay.
He is never going to write in that book ever again.
Nope.
I mean, to be honest, I'm
mental notes.
I'm not
what are you saying, Matt?
To be honest, I'm not too concerned about what triggers that sword to start reading books. I'm just wondering what it does with the information that it obtains from.
The question of the ages.
I'm a little more concerned with us trying to, I don't know, be stealthy somewhere, and a book is, across the room, and let's say the floor is trapped, or there's some, no offense, Vola, there's some orcs around the corner.
I've just realized you've just made Hibram in sword form, haven't you?
Oh,
son of a
my
bitch,
god.
Yeah, pretty much.
The funny thing about this item is I actually made it long before we ever did the Dinglings game.
Oh wow.
Yep. This is from one of my homebrew campaigns. It has a very specific purpose.
For Hibram.
Yeah, this is Hibram. So, I mean, for those that don't know, we also played a game called the Dragon Heist. Dragon Heist. And the character that I play, Hibram Armitage, is a man who is willing to basically remove all morals in order for information that he.
We've spent a lot of time in jail because of his love for books.
Yeah, and at one point, I basically went into a mini library in someone's house and basically stole I stole a book or two from there, and just because
You stole their
it must have
family
some.
lineage, which would have done you nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, not to mention a powerful magic stone.
That as well, yeah.
That has nothing but, good connotations to it.
Oh, completely.
Considering, you all aren't on Faerun anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Charlotte.
Anyway, back to things. Yeah, you could probably say it's. I guess it would be fair to make that parallel. I guess. I didn't really think about it that way because I made the sword years before Dingaling time. Yeah. So.
How ironic, though.
Isn't it ironic? Sorry.
Don't you think?
Oh my god.
I really do think. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Continue.
Well, it's like rain on your wedding day.
I am sorry to everyone watching for that.
No, he's not.
Nah, not really.
I'm just gonna sit back while you guys do karaoke. I'm gonna start tallying up all the dragons I'm adding to my random table.
It's like a free ride when you've already paid.
Please do,
so.
yes.
And over the voice of Dee Dee, we hear wings flapping. Yes.
Yes, you do.
Oh no, I've summoned them.
You hear the sound in the distance of leathery wings.
Well, this is where I make my leave. Bye, guys.
This is where I die. No, you don't hear that. Who is? Let's get back on track. Who is? Well, what are you guys planning on doing today? What would you like to do today?
Traveling.
Trekking.
Keep going.
All right, who's the navigator?
20, dirty 20.
All right. Let me look at the map.
Hey, Sword. Over in that direction, there's a whole friggin' library of lost knowledge. Go.
You feel nothing from the sword, except for a slight sense of disapproval.
Nope.
Yeah.
The sword disapproves.
The sword disapproves. You see a little text. You see a little text on the bottom of your screen. The sword slightly disapproves.
Yeah. I'm not trying to marry the sword.
The sword will remember this.
The sword will remember this. Yeah. Actually, roll a deception check.
Oh shit!
Are you trying to deceive the sword?
No. Maybe. Don't judge me.
Also,
I
to
crave
answer
violence,
your question, yes.
Okay.
If you would like to.
You said deception, yes?
Correct.
That is, where is it at on
This
the
is what I get
sheet?
for not using my Dirk dice. I rolled
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Nice.
The sword kind of lights up for a second. And do you point in a direction?
Basically point in the direction of Omu. The direction we're going. That way.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It. If you are already walking in that direction, you feel a sense of purpose, like you need to keep moving in that direction, but it doesn't pull you.
Okay. Aha.
It seems convinced that you are telling it the truth. And because you are connected to the sword, you can tell that it feels convinced.
Excellent.
And we run into a library full of teleportation spell manuals and things.
Yay!
Can I roll again? I rolled.
Oh boy.
Oh, I don't want that. Keep rolling the same shit over and over. I crave violence.
She craves putting her butt on my keyboard. That's what she does.
Some people prefer violence in different manners.
Right?
This is my preferred form, Mother.
That's a different
so
kind
you
of
guys
stream.
are getting close to the river area, so I guess I would roll on the other table. Oh.
Meow.
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 Meow. That is a camera, Mother. That is not violence. I crave violence.
Violence.
Violence, Mother.
She's going to attack me.
I require the sustenance of souls. You know this.
I'm waiting for that bite. It's coming.
Mhm.
It's coming.
Yeah. So that's happening. Don't look at me. The trees begin to thin somewhat as you travel through the jungle today. And eventually you can... You know how sometimes you can kind of feel in the air when you're close to water? A little bit. Certain
You
smells
feel it in the air
of
tonight?
like fresh water, and yes, you can feel it in the air tonight. And Iku also indicates to you all that you're getting closer to the river Tath, and she says that you will reach it by the end of the day. You are walking through swaths of trees and obviously lots and lots of underbrush. There's broken statues covered in moss and what looks to be like buried, half buried or almost completely buried remnants of buildings as you pass.
Can I inspect the buildings at some point?
Yeah, sure. You can absolutely do that.
Just want to know, like, maybe how old they are.
Sure.
May I guide my little goblin friend?
Yes, you may. I will take a I don't know, call it investigation. I think that's fair.
$19.
You can tell that these are pre-spell plague. Definitely in the Chultan style. It's not unusual for this region. It's very similar to the ruins that you. I would say they're very similar to the ruins that you were searching for. What you were searching for near Umbala. It is of the same make, the same material, and the carvings in the stone are of the same... It appears to even be the same craftsman. It's the same style, the same basic signature of what you recognize for this historical era of Chult.
Okay.
From the knowledge that you have gathered and or received, I will say from your patron, honestly, is that what you are seeking would be in a ruin that is more intact than this. The statues that you find are like, they appear to be vaguely masculine in form, but the faces are like different animals and they're like stacked on top of each other. Kind of, I would say vaguely like a totem pole, but it's not like just heads. It's little bodies kind of stacked. Like, imagine like Lego men just kind of boop, boop, boop. It's like that, but each face of each vaguely masculine, roughly, crude humanoid shape is a more intricately carved faces of different animals: a jaguar, a rock, a dragon, a monkey, alligator, a bat, a snake. Actually, the one on the top is a snake. If that matters to you, that is the one that appears to be at the topmost of this little. But most of it, like, you have to, because you're investigating. I know you've got like your tools out, and you probably like dig a little bit to see like what is like on this statue. And that's
I'm looking for like any kind of inscriptions or anything like that as well.
No inscriptions on these ones, but a lot of intricately carved stonework, but very worn away. Very, very obviously pre-spell plague.
Was that a history or was that a history check?
That was investigation, but because of Dee Dee's background, I'm kind of treating it as the same thing.
Okay, then I won't bother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Dee Dee's got the archaeologist background, so I'm kind of trying to play into that a little bit.
Yep.
The spell plague part is intriguing.
Yes. Because the spell plague was what, 200 years ago?
1385, I think.
Yeah.
1384, something like that.
Yeah, so it's really only
It's
it's only like a couple hundred years ago, right?
It's like 1495 now, I think, current day. Like current 5th edition timeline.
Okay. I would have to check what time date Tomb of Annihilation takes place in, but I think it's actually not that. I think it's a little bit less time after the spell plague.
Yeah, because I believe Prince of the Apocalypse was 1491.
Okay. Regardless, I'll get you guys more details on that later if you want them. So yeah, you're walking along. You look at these different ruins. You can tell it's interesting. It definitely is worth taking note of, because you're finding these things in more and more unconventional places. If that makes sense, you're finding more and more ruins that are in weird locations that, as the geography of Chult is now, as you know it, doesn't totally make sense as to where they're located. And it leads you to believe that perhaps, some of the landscape may have changed at some point. And that's why it seems weird now, but maybe it wasn't at the time of these buildings being standing or on the level, because they're kind of collapsed and seem to be sunk into the earth a bit.
We're pretty close to the river. I mean, that's
you're
probably
pretty close.
why there's a settlement here.
Yeah.
Pull that up in Owlbear Rodeo. I'm just curious. Is the map? The map's not up.
Yeah, no, and you can't see the part of the river is uncharted where you're at anyway.
Got it. Does Iku know where we're going?
Oh yeah, she very much has said, we're walking to the river Tath. We are going to be there by the end of the day. As long as there's no delays. And speaking of delays, as you are walking about, you pause to let Dee Dee investigate through these ruins, and you move on, and we'll say it's maybe like later afternoon. The sun is starting to, slant all the shadows as it begins its descent into setting. And let's see. Okay. I need a marching order from you all.
Are artists and Dragonbait still way out front?
I want the marching order for where you guys are at, and I will insert the rest.
Vol and I am assuming, are up front. Like, do we just want to say this is what it is in perpetuity unless we change it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in the middle. I'm always going to be in the middle.
I would probably be in between Druge and Vola.
Okay.
So Vola, Dee Dee, Druge, Jugi, Ranzit. Does that sound good to everybody?
Sure.
I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Okay.
Since Vola actually has the best chance of all of us to not get hit with the trap. Not only does she have the thing, but she's got the barbarian half-orc thing.
She got the stick.
Well, it's not only the stick, it's the literal, like, if there's a trap that she can see, she has advantage. And whether she sees it or not, it's something you can see.
Okay, so here's how we're operating now. Vola, Dee Dee, and Druge, you are like the first little cluster. Right behind you is Iku, because she's the guide. She wants to stay relatively near the front. And then Jugi, then Ranzit, and behind Ranzit are both Artis and Dragonbait.
Okay.
That's your marching order currently, just so you can have that visual in your head.
That works.
Yeah, that works. If Vola's our trap Roomba, then...
Vola's the canary in the coal mine.
Yeah,
great.
You're basically advancing closer and closer to the river Taft, to the point where you can vaguely hear like the splashing of water, like fish or whatever running around. There's all kinds of animals out here.
Iku, we haven't had the best experience setting up camp near a river. Is it a better idea to maybe stay inland a half mile, or?
She kind of looks at you and she's like, well, I mean, we can, but it would probably be best if we could at least cross the river before we camp.
Sure.
She says that would be the best course of action. So anyway, as you were walking, Didi, I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw, please.
No problem. 21.
All right, that's pretty good. You barely managed to jump out of the way, as all of you see this, except for maybe. Yeah, all of you see it. All of you see this. From the canopy of the trees shoots this a huge snake, just strikes from the canopy above, and attempts to bite Didi, who manages to catch it at the last moment, and dodges out of the way. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Alrighty then.
All right.
Snake battle.
Snake battle.
Do you have snake battle music?
I do. My
Or sneaky snake battle music?
I guess.
Oh, I accidentally muted tabletop audio. I was like, where did my music go? I don't like it. Don't like it.
You don't like it.
Alrighty. Okay. Who rolled 20 and up?
Dirty 20.
21.
Let me check for artists, dragon bait, and Iku. Okay, artist did really well. Of course he did. Artist got 18. Dragon bait didn't do too hot, my friend. And Iku also didn't roll bad. 9, 10, 12. Okay, 21 is Ranzit. 20 is Vola. 15 to 19.
18.
19. 19.
Okay, 19 for Juki. 18 for Artis. 18 for Didi. 18 for Droosh. That's the whole party, isn't it? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And then Iku and Dragonbait did pretty bad. Iku is after Droosh. And then Dragonbait is last. That kind of tracks, you know? All right.
That sounded cool.
That did sound cool.
Sorry, that was my phone going off.
It's all good. Ranzit,
Yes, ma'am.
you see a giant constrictor snake. What do you do?
I thank myself for thinking ahead of time without knowing, and be glad I put on my brown pants today. And it is about how like far up in the canopy or whatever is this thing?
Its head is kind of hanging down because it literally just like swoop, like not swoop down, obviously. It just kind of like struck down, like really quick at Dee Dee. So from you right now, where you're at, I'd say it's about 15 or so feet away.
Oh, perfect.
Maybe 20 most.
Excellent, excellent. I'm going to move back about 20 or so feet.
Okay, so you can shoot your pants. Sounds about right.
Yeah, pretty much. I swear I was only channeling arcane power. Don't worry about it.
Sounds like Thursdays.
And you'll see Rancid kind of, instead of being in his big bulking armor, usually just running headlong in to smash shit, he'll step back about 20 feet or so, and he'll kind of hold his hands out, and you'll start to see like his breastplate, or the chest armor, if you will, like start to glow and crackle with lightning, and it kind of condenses down into a circle on his chest, and he just, with his hands forward, and you just see like this lightning just launch towards the snake.
Hell yes! Do I have to make a save?
Ooh, is this your first lightning bolt?
No, it's not a lightning bolt.
No.
Ish. 25.
To hit?
Yeah.
That hits.
11 on the first one. The second one, natural 20.
Nice.
Christ. Pew, 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 pew. You did it. Crit hit. Okay. So
19. And so that will be 28 points of damage total. And with my lightning launcher, once per turn, when you hit a creature with it, you can deal an extra 1d6 points of lightning damage to that target.
okay.
So 33 points of lightning damage.
33 total.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then as a bonus action, I'm just going to go, shit. And
As a bonus action.
as a bonus action,
I
I freak out quietly. That's my turn.
So you pulled out the lightning launcher.
Yes.
You feel an intense dissatisfaction.
It's coming from the sword. Look, there will be a time for you. This is not that time. All right? Just not everything needs to be dealt with up close.
Roll me a persuasion
We
check.
are small. We are small. That is fucking huge.
Roll me a persuasion
Trying
check.
to persuade a sword.
Yep.
We are small.
He attuned to the damn thing.
30-20.
Oh my god, alright. I own you, Ramsit, says Loco.
Yeah.
So all we
Okay.
know is that the sword is holding the spirit of a librarian who's part of an animal rights organization.
You feel like the sword grudgingly accepts what you say.
Or
it's
it's
the
channeling
sword's a
Rosie.
member of PETA. Shit.
It's channeling Rosie.
It's channeling Rosie and just wants to kill everything. And that too.
Next up is Vola. Juki, you are on deck. I forgot to do the on deck thing for round one, sorry.
Is it within my reach?
It's a little high up, but
Like, could I hit it with a great axe, or do I have to throw something at it?
you'd probably throw something at it, yeah.
Okay. I am going to Hulk out.
Well, hold on. If you got to do melee combat, you got to hit it with a melee weapon, right, to stay in rage.
So it's if I do a if I use a hand axe, that's still a melee weapon, isn't it?
Well, no, you have to do a melee attack, not a.
Yeah, I think it has to be a melee attack.
It does. If you're
Yeah, it does.
if you're throwing something, that's not a melee attack. That's a ranged attack.
Oh.
Even if
it's a melee weapon.
Even if it's a weapon you normally use for melee. If you're throwing it, then that's not a melee attack.
Throw javelins, damn it.
Well, I wanted to do a frenzied rage, but I guess that doesn't make sense if I can't. do that? I'm sorry, I'm just confused about melee attacks. So
Melee just means that you're hitting something, physically hitting it.
While holding onto the weapon.
Yes.
Right. Okay, while holding it.
Yes.
If you're letting go of the weapon, then that's not melee.
I don't know. Duff lets me throw javelins and keep my rage, so.
Well,
it's the
It's kind of
you have to attack or be attacked.
Yeah.
In order for your rage to keep going.
Yeah.
You can
the rage bonus, the rage damage bonus, only applies to melee, not range.
So you can do ranged attacks and keep your rage going.
But you don't
I
get
just
the
learned
extra
something new.
damage.
So I'm sorry, you can rage and keep your attacks going?
Let me have a look.
You
can continue
rage.
your rage.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can.
All right.
So you can rage at any time, but whether you keep it or not depends on whether you take a melee attack action, or if you are hit between now and your next turn.
Got it. So, but I don't have to rage this time. I can rage the next time.
Yeah, you can rage. You can rage whenever the hell you want, as long as you have rages left for the day.
I have rages, so I'm just gonna. Oh, go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
Yeah, I think Seth is being confused with the whole. When you make a melee weapon attack using strength, you gain the bonus to damage roll. That wouldn't apply to a ranged attack. But
yeah, I just learned something new about another character.
It does actually specifically say in the barbarian section, it ends early if you're knocked unconscious or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn or taken damage since then. Because it doesn't specifically say a melee attack or
so she can frenzied rage and use javelins.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, but that doesn't mean. What I'm saying is, you can absolutely do that. It just doesn't mean that your rage is going to stick.
Right. I am not raging yet.
Okay.
Then.
Okay.
I am throwing a hand axe at this guy.
Okay, go for it.
So that's what I'm doing. And I got a 12.
12 to hit?
Yeah.
That just hits?
It does.
Roll your damage.
Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
7.
Okay.
That's not a hit.
No, I already
that
hit.
was the damage. Yeah.
Pay attention, son.
I'm sorry, what?
I was paying attention, Kelly.
Squirrel.
So, I angrily throw my hand axe at it and be like, "What the fuck, big snake?"
Would you like to move at all?
Yes, I would like to move out of the way a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, great. On to Jugi with who's on deck? Artist is next, so I'm on deck.
Well, Jiggy wouldn't say so, but they want this motherfucking snake off this motherfucking material plane. So,
there you go.
How high is it up? Is it within 10 feet, or is it?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay, in that case,
You're tall enough now.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll lunge up with my halberd, which has 10-foot range anyway. So, so yeah. But let me just check. Let me just see. What the hey? I'm gonna put a searing smite on my halberd.
Do it.
It's bonus action.
Yeah.
And then
Totally Marisha Raying it right now. I'm perching in my chair.
from the Fander's heart, I stab at thee. Natural 20.
Oh my fucking god! Yes.
I know. I cannot believe that happened.
Yes.
Yes.
Snaps for
yeah.
Jugi, everybody. Snaps for Jugi.
Yeah.
2 snaps up in a circle.
Yeah, that's
Oh
right.
yeah.
Like pattern.
I mean, I'll mention this anyway, but I'm going to use the second level Divine Smite. So,
Fuck yes. Paladins
Okay.
don't fuck around, y'all.
No, we do not, especially when we crit.
That's right.
Okay, so halberd damage.
It's all the rage. Sorry. Get banned. Just kidding.
Halberd damage is 16 slashing damage.
16, damn.
16, yeah. I rolled a 10 and 2 plus 4. So, 2d6 for the Searing Smite, because it was only a level 1 spell. Just drop them off the d10s. 6 points of fire damage, and it is on fire. And six.
You know, I keep tallying. I was gonna say that kills it basically.
Okay, well, let me just. I'll pump the Divine Smite in anyway because I did say so. But it's. Yeah. I just want to see the numbers.
Do it.
Okay. 9, 10, 11.
Extra style points, absolutely. Matt always gets extra style points.
19.
It's the accent, isn't it?
It's absolutely the accent.
Wow, you don't like a Pennsylvania accent? Walk and talk and worship God? That's so sexy, isn't it?
So sexy.
So that is 25 radiant damage.
God damn, sir.
So that's 31, and so that's 47 points of damage altogether.
How do you want to do this?
Well, it's just been electrocuted. It's just had a hand axe in it, and then it's just had a polearm go straight into its mouth, basically going as far up down its gullet as possible, and then just have a radiant explosion, just open it up from the inside, and then it gets set on fire.
Fuck yeah, crit buddies!
Crit buddies!
That is a way to go. That is a solid way to go.
Furious Turtle says, Yins don't know shit about how sexy the... Oh my god, I can't even... I can hear it in the Pennsylvania accent. I can't handle it. Yins.
Yeah.
Malik says Yins too. I'm just like, oh my god. Ugh. I feel like I'm home all of a sudden.
She does.
I know too many people from Pennsylvania.
Sadly, me too.
Yeah. So yeah, now it's Artis's turn. That was pretty epic. And it is, you are not out of combat yet, BT Dubs, so don't get too comfy. Artis is looking around because he's like, what is going on? And I'm gonna give him a perception check to see if that helps. Okay. He points up into the trees and he says, "There's another one!" And he pulls out his longbow. And he is going to attempt to shoot at it, even though it is up in the trees, so he gets disadvantage. Because it's kind of partially covered and obscured. And does not hit. That is his turn. Actually, how many attacks does he get with the longbow? Oh, he gets 3 attacks. Okay, cool. Let me try again. Nope. And a nope. Because that's a disadvantage again. So that's Artis's turn. He has indicated a general location of where there is another snake. On to Dee Dee with Druge on deck.
So he pointed out where this is a snake?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you look up to where he pointed and you can see like the dark shadow of another snake.
So I'm gonna fucking... So I have visual on it or no?
You can kind of see it, but it's hard to see. Also, the canopy of trees above you is catching fire. So that's going to be fun to deal with.
Oh boy. That's going to be a problem.
Yep. Only you can prevent forest fires, everybody.
I just look at it.
Because you said it's fire. You said it was fire damage in addition to the radiant damage, correct?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I say, was that me?
Yeah, that was definitely you, bud.
I'm just gonna remember how easy it is to set the jungle on fire.
Oh boy.
I take mental note of this.
I mean, the snake is still hanging in the canopy of the trees and is on fire, so hello.
Yeah.
It's not raining.
I perfectly accept my decision.
Kirsten, please continue.
I'm gonna unholster my finger guns. like my Lord and Savior Bola Viola Bola. I'll blast 1 and 2 at the little snaky poo that's chilling in the tree still. Do I have to roll at disadvantage or anything?
Yes. Or anything.
Or anything?
Yeah, just disadvantage.
I'm gonna use one of my luck dice.
Okay.
That's going to be a 14.
That hits. Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
So that's going to be a 10 on the first hit.
That's 10?
Yep.
Okay.
Second hit is going to be a dirty 20.
Even at disadvantage?
Disadvantage, I rolled a 13 and an 18.
Okay, that hits.
That's going to be a 11 damage.
Another 11 on top of the 10?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh wait, 15. Sorry, I forgot to add the 4.
Okay, 10 and 15.
Yes.
Okay. Damn.
And then I'm gonna skedaddle behind the tall one.
Alright, you have the invocation that gives you, like, stronger... Right?
Yeah, I have it's a +4 to my Eldritch Blasts.
Yeah. That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
That's the one that adds your charisma to it, isn't it?
Yep.
When you say skedaddle behind the tall one, which one? Because there's like 3.
Yeah, everybody's tall except for you, basically, in Rancid.
So the tall one refers to the Furbolg. You are the goblin adjacent one. The gnome is the gnome. And Bola is Viola Bola.
Viola Bola.
Bola Viola. Bola.
You have to say the whole thing every time, Bola Viola.
I have to.
Bola.
That's what Dee Dee thinks her name is.
Still not as long as my name. So.
No,
I love that. I love everything
like,
about that. Okay, so Dee Dee, is that it for your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, moving on to Druge. Next up is all the NP fucking Cs, because there's so many of them.
Druge has not had an opportunity to cast a 4th level cleric spell yet.
No, you have not, sir.
So Druge is going to point up at the area where the snake is and say one word in Abyssal, which is die.
Whoa.
And I will cast Blight at it. You should give a Constitution save. Necromantic energy washes out of Druge and over the snake.
Ooh.
Doesn't in fact the tree is hanging, does it?
Isn't it? Is it a save or is it a?
It's a save, so it takes half damage if it saves.
Okay, what do I have to roll?
15.
No, what am I rolling for?
Oh, Constitution.
Constitution. Thank you. Let me see. I have to beat a 15.
Yeah.
That's a nat 1.
That's 40 damage?
Holy shit. How do you want to do this?
Black fire washes out of Druge and incinerates it. There's nothing left. Like little bits of snake dust are drifting down over us.
Holy fuck.
Ew.
That's all well and good. However, you are not out of initiative yet. The forest is on fire. What are you doing?
I'd say get that jug from Rancid. That's what I say.
It's time to cross the river, friends.
Migraine Boy, thank you for those biddies.
Woohoo!
Well, maybe this fire will clear out the forest and make it easier for us to get to Omu.
Good thought.
That is a good thought. Unfortunately, I have no water-based spells, so
Yeah,
You
Iku
do
was
have a
very
jug that
distressed
just
at
will
this.
fill whatever we want to fill it with.
that would help with like putting out a small, out-of-control like campfire. A forest fire, I don't think it. Yeah,
I mean,
it's not the decanter. It's just the jug that has magic water in it.
Okay, so, Druge, is there anything you want to do on your turn?
Other than cast that spell?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to start moving towards the river, and I'm assuming that's where Iku and everybody else is going.
You don't know, because it's not their turn yet.
I'm going to say perhaps now is a good time to move towards the river, and move towards the river.
Okay. Next up, now that the snakes are gone, Iku's turn. Iku is, and I'm going, this is how I'm interpreting this spell.
You're the DM, man. Interpret however you want.
Especially because the range on the spell, I think, is enough, probably. Iku is going to walk to where the fire is catching, and she's going to create water above the fire.
Yeah. Excellent.
And she will actually put it out because she is real upset that we started a forest fire.
What's this
we like?
Yeah.
She does that, and now you are out of combat. Now you are by nature. Yeah, I hear you, Furious Trouble. So that's Iku's turn.
It's what, like
now
30 gallons or something?
You've solved my snake puzzle. Congratulations. Iku kind of looks at Jugi and she's like, "Can you please maybe be a little more careful with that?"
Yeah, that was my bad. I think the Marvelous Founder might have just been a little too much.
Maybe next time, not setting something on fire that's in a tree already. Don't do that next time.
All right.
I'm gonna sort of direct Iku's attention away from like the hole in the canopy that's all like black and shriveled and rotten plants.
Yeah, she's like I do not see. Yeah, from all the necrotic energy from the blight. Yeah.
It's literally like a perfectly round hole, just like blighted straight up.
It's all kinds of fucked up.
Wasn't me.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna roll an insight check.
I go to say, tell you what. I mean, when we camp for the night, I'll make sure you use a different smite. What do you think? The smite that rings with thunder. That sounds pretty cool. Or the one that there's one that sheds light on whatever I hit. I mean, what do you suggest?
You're asking Iku this?
Yes. Basically implying that all my smites are gonna cause a problem.
Yeah, she kind of considers for a second, and she says, "Use whatever you think is best. Just be careful how you use it. That's all."
All right. Ooh, what about the smite that? There's a smite that makes people frightened. I can use that one. That's a good one. And they just basically keep talking to Iku as the party goes on ahead with this traveling through the jungle.
Yep. Iku is she's not like upset with Jugi. She's just like, maybe be careful. You know, the jungle's kind of important. I live here. Please don't set my home on fire.
I'll try not to.
So
I will.
I'm not paramedic.
You're not a pyromaniac. Yeah, she just kind of moms at you a little bit, and then she lets it go.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Just disappointed. That's
even
right.
worse. That is
I will clap my hand around Jugi's shoulder and say, "Don't worry. Oh. It's only death. It'll grow back."
Sometimes you burn shit so badly that nothing could possibly grow.
Yeah. Happens.
Oh. Did that happen? Did that happen somewhere where you were, Dee Dee? Is that how you know these things about nature?
No, it's because I've lit shit on fire before.
Oh.
I fucking can't.
I will then proceed to take out a stick of dynamite from my bag and be like,
I fucking run.
and then I put it back in.
I still
What is
run.
that?
It is dynamite.
What's that?
It makes big booms. Also, sometimes fire, if you're not careful.
Huh. That's all I got.
Maybe I'll show you what it does sometime.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Is it like a firearm?
Dee Dee is a terrorist, confirmed.
You're not wrong.
Furious Triple, spot on.
Oh my god. It's a red candle. We're gonna light it next time we need, light in the darkness. Yeah.
Oh no.
It'll light things up okay.
It's like, why is this candle sparkling? Wait,
oh my god.
Gotta make sure you pick up the right candle. I have
love this
candles in
game
my
so
back,
much,
so,
y'all.
Fucking Goonies shout out. I love it.
Fucking. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna sort of. So the canopy's out now. It's put out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we should change Dee Dee's name in D&D Beyond to Dee Dee the Terrorist. Don't do it. Don't actually do that, please.
Bet.
Yeah, so some of you are now aware of the fact that Dee Dee has dynamite. D-N-D.
Dynamite.
Really?
Come on, low-hanging fruit. Hey, you are no better, okay? You are no better.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, sure. Just continue
Full
to
of
sit
shit.
there on your holy throne there, Mr. fucking Titterpig.
Yeah, Titterpig.
Titterpig.
To be fair, we're in a jungle. Low-hanging fruit is everywhere.
Oh my god, Matt!
Oh.
That was funny!
Matt, you have disadvantage on your next roll. DD throws some chaos.
Towards the river now.
Would you like me to make some goose jokes instead?
Oh my lord. Okay, so you... Alright, Titterpigs, you get, I fucking hate you guys so much. I simultaneously hate and love you all. You reached the river, finally. You were not far from it when this encounter occurred. Why am I not hearing music? What is going on? I just hear the soothing sounds of my dog snoring. It's wonderful.
D&D.
Dynamite.
Soothing sounds.
It's Kirsten's theme song now, apparently.
Mandy's ASMR dog.
Oh no!
Yo, I gotta do a mashup now with.
Oh dear God.
Oh my god, I'm gonna do it. TNT and Lola. I gotta do a mashup.
Oh god, I'm out. I'm done. It was nice knowing you all. Goodbye forever. Uh-oh, somebody's having a dream. Hey, buddy.
Are you having a dream?
Squirrel.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah.
He woke himself up with that.
Oh.
I turned around and he was already awake.
Having a dream?
Sweet boy. Yes, so, what was I saying? I got distracted by the dog. Oh, you reached the river, and by the time the sun is setting and it's time for you to set up camp, Iku says it's best if you just cross the river now and camp on the opposite side. if you want to. She says it's probably fine either way. I mean, you obviously killed what were 2 big predators in this area already, so...
But, you know, better not to, like, sleep somewhere where you made a whole bunch of noise and there's the smell of burnt snake flesh.
Yeah.
How far across is the river at this point?
Where you are at, the river is actually really, really narrow compared to normal. I would say, because we kind of established that the bigger rivers vary a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The River Tath, however, I would say where you are, let me see, you're kind of further down from where it forks from the Aldani Basin, so I'll say 60 feet.
Do you think we can swim it? I mean, I don't mind trying to swim it. I mean,
it's pretty shallow here.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
like you could get a canoe through here, but nothing bigger than that. Like a raft or a canoe, like just that float on the surface, but nothing too big.
Okay.
You could feasibly wade through this water.
Okay. Jugi just goes. Okay. Well, if you tell us we should cross, then we should cross.
And this is like almost sunset, right?
Yeah, you're getting there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jugi just goes straight in and wades across to the other side.
Yeah, Iku's already like on the way once you guys say you want to cross.
I'll do the same.
Rouge and be like, "May I?"
Yes,
Thank
come on.
you. Gonna crawl up on him, on his shoulders.
Wait, and I will chicken fights. Anybody? Jugi? Ranzit and Jugi. Chicken fight.
You can have.
Wait, what?
Never mind.
But it has to be Jugi on top of Ranzit.
Yes. Yes. I support this.
I'm
no.
He would literally drown Rancid.
I have no idea what you mean.
Oh, you didn't do that? I guess that was a temple thing. Sorry. Never mind.
Wait, hold on. At the Temple of the Lord of Death, are you saying that you all played chicken?
Sure, why not?
In the catacombs of the Lord of the Dead, you played chicken.
We had hot tubs. Why do you think I wanted to go to the hot tubs in Nyanzaru?
Yeah, totally. There were definitely hot springs at the monastery.
And only like 4 or 5 people died a year.
Only.
Well, you know, hard stone walls.
Minimum risk. I mean.
Minimum risk. Maximum reward?
Minimum
question
reward.
mark?
Yeah.
So yes, you are all able to safely cross the River Tath.
I mean, we did no such thing back in the Temple of Lathander. I mean, it was all holy water. We didn't want to splash about in it.
Yeah. How wide is it from, like, I guess bank to bank?
Like I said, 60 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. You are all able to safely traverse. No problems.
You just kind of see like a head pop up out of the water and then come back down and come back up, go back down.
Like a little bobber.
Yeah. I'm 3 feet tall.
Brandon's a
Why I
bobber.
got a lift.
Dragon bait is actually pretty short as well, so.
Oh,
I will offer dragon bait. Like, do you want the other shoulder? I'm happy to carry you.
Dragon bait, kinda. I don't know what the smell is for embarrassment. But whatever that smell is, that's what dragon bait smells like right now.
Come on! You're a new friend.
I'm just gonna call it ham.
Yeah.
He smells like ham a lot. He's a nervous boy.
I smell like beef.
My beef.
My beef.
My beef.
Where the fuck is Alex?
Right.
Yeah. It smells like ham. He looks a little bit concerned, because he's about 4'10", maybe. So taller than Ranzet. I'm just gonna say, he just swims across, like, you know, little doggy, little dino paddle.
I'm gonna walk next to him the whole time and just kind of like, you know, stick my hand under if he looks like he's having problems.
Nah, he can kind of walk through the water. It's a little bit difficult, but he can kind of walk through.
I'm just standing guard in case anything happens.
Because he is a precious being and must be protected at all costs. Yes, I agree. Artis is just like, Artis is kind of lagging behind. He's trying to make sure the dragon bait's all right.
Dragon bait is our child now.
Yeah, he is your child now. Dragon bait is absolutely your child, even more than Barry is.
Can we set like dragon bait and Sarah up? I'm like, what?
Aw, that would be cute.
Never mind. Anyway, I
wait,
didn't say
that would
out
actually be really cute. I don't know why I think that's adorable, but I think it's adorable.
I think it's super adorable.
That's so cute. Oh, I'm gonna have to draw that now. God damn it.
Oh God.
Aww.
What was that? Setting dragon bait?
Sarah and dragon bait.
Oh, right.
Aww. The two precious beans. Anyway.
My God.
My God. And thus began the half-sorial race on Toril.
Genesis of Dragonborn. Sorry, never mind.
No. No, they're Dinoborns.
Dinoborn.
Alright, moving on. You are able to camp for the evening. We're gonna have a little watch. We're gonna do a little watch-a-poo. Who wants to have first watch?
I'll do first.
Okay,
I'm always around, so whenever.
They can go to Applebee's with a coupon. Oh my God.
Well, you know, I can take ceremony and marry them.
Oh.
I'm an ordained minister.
I already have ceremony as well.
Yep.
So
Me too.
Oh my God.
question is, who's got one some more?
Well, you'll just have to stop the death curse and make it back to Port Nyanzaru in one piece.
Oh, that's not likely.
No big deal. It's fine.
Oh yeah, yeah, no pressure.
Yeah.
We have to do it for true love, guys.
You have to. Now you're really motivated.
Love. Sorry.
As if permanent death for everyone wasn't motivation enough, true love is the one thing that will get you all through the fucking jungle too.
Yeah.
It's true.
Good God. So yeah, Vola and who else is on the first watch?
Me. I mean, Dee Dee's on all of them, so
yeah,
like...
Dee Dee's just always around. I mean, you know, she might decide to meditate, or you know, I don't know. Can Dee Dee sleep at all? Can she sleep if she chooses?
She can, but why would I if I don't have to when I could just be watching all the time?
I don't know, out of boredom.
I don't like dreaming.
All right, moving right on from that.
Unlike the puppy.
She practices her maniacal laughter at night.
Because that's not creepy at all.
That doesn't keep everybody up or anything. It's fine.
Wow.
That's why she's like kind of far away from like the camp.
What does that mean?
And then she gets attacked and ambushed from the.
I'm tired today. I have to get up so fucking early tomorrow too. I'm gonna die.
Well, maybe we should end a little early then.
We may. Can I get a perception check from the first watch?
Sure.
Perception check.
17.
Oh.
Ow!
Wow.
Ow!
What did you get?
You somehow your audio just like bumped up 10 decibels in the middle of your. Oh!
I only got a 9.
9.
But I did get a 17.
9 and a 17. Okay. 9. What did I get? What is this? 54? 54.
I can't beat a 54.
54. I'm trying to figure out where on the table this fucking thing is. That's creepy music? Yes, it is. Ooh. What is that? Kirsten, you're gonna hate me so much.
It's the goblin-eating plants.
It's fine. What is it? We want
some more snakes.
So 1,
or an undead horse.
Oh, that's a
Sugar
lot.
mama.
My nightmare.
Yeah,
Snakes on an undead horse.
You see you suddenly start seeing omens, indications of some ill intent sweeping across the land. As the Death Knight appears before you. No, I'm just kidding.
Buddy! Let's have a chat.
Buddy!
I run.
That's 5, 6. Ooh. Oh. That's a lot.
Oh no.
Okay. And that is... Who got the 17?
I did.
Druge. As you are sitting at the fire and keeping an eye, you catch in, the outskirts of the firelight a vaguely familiar movement of a winged snake darting through the air.
No.
And you catch it just as it seems to be turning around, flying away from the camp. What do you do?
I will quietly say something to Vola, and I will try to wake up Iku. So I will gently stand up and go over to Iku.
Okay, you wake up Iku. What do you say to her?
I saw a winged flying snake. It seemed to be observing the camp and then flying away. What should I make of that? I mean, when in doubt, ask the guy.
She kind of rubs her eyes, and thinks for a second, and she says, "Well, was it the same kind of flying snake that the Zentarum usually have?"
Yes, it was.
Then that's probably what that means. And just as you do that, you begin to hear approaching footsteps. A familiar voice calls out to you from the night and says, "I had a feeling that I was gonna run into you all again. What a coincidence."
Oh, I can't wait to kill her. I can't wait to kill her.
And
is she there?
You recognize this as the Zentarum woman that you originally met at the Thundering Lizard. And again, in the jungle of the hunting party seeking Artis Cimber. And that is where we are going to end for tonight.
Yeah. I was going to say, if she's not attacking, I'm guiding bolting her immediately. Like,
you
I
will
don't
have
care
to
what she
you will
has
have
to
to
say.
figure that out next week.
Yep.
I'm blowing her ass up.
Good luck with that.
That's a preview.
Thanks for telling me your
I will go down
your
swinging.
plan
I
ahead
hate her
of
that
time.
much. Yeah, I don't care. I will go down swinging. I hate her that much.
I'm just upset that Rosie's not here for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rosie would definitely take great pleasure in killing this bitch.
Cool.
Who you've all run into time and time again. So yes.
And this time we have Artis Cimber with us. So
yes, you do.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any avoiding a bit of a confrontation here.
I honest to God, like, because of the other game I'm running, Storm King's Thunder, I want to know personally if Artis Cimber has the Ring of Winter.
He told us.
He told you that he does have the Ring of Winter.
Yeah,
we've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen the Ring of Winter. He is wearing it.
Yeah, he was
right,
talking
used
about
it to
creating.
If you took, hey Seth, if you took notes, you would probably remember that.
I'm sorry, what? Squirrel?
Exactly.
Yeah, Seth. I take notes every now and then, and even I remembered he had the ring of winter.
Iku crying intensifies. Yes.
I'll admit I didn't take notes, but I knew it because I rewatched the episode. So
Yeah. There you go. That's another thing you can do.
And I'm up next week, right? I'm up. It's my turn to do the recap.
Yeah.
Question mark? Yes.
Yeah.
So I looked in the.
I think so. Yeah, it says it in the Discord channel.
Cool.
For the game. Okay, so. Yay! Thank you for joining us, everybody. We did end it a little bit early today, but I think that was a good ending point. The dice are certainly in my favor because I wasn't expecting you to run into them again so soon. So yeah, we have lots of awesome programming coming up here on the channel.
Mandii, your camera turned off.
I know it keeps doing it. I think the wire of my camera is going bad because it keeps turning off. I don't think it's VCam. I think it's actually like the hardware of my camera. Anyway, sorry about that, folks. We have lots of great programming coming up here on the channel. We'll start with what you can expect to see from us tomorrow, Saturday. All the times that I am about to say are Central Time. Tomorrow, Saturdays, we have Rise Up Against the Slave Lords with DM Def563. That is the OG, all-original female cast. That is at 9 p.m. Central Time. The cast includes both myself and Myriad as players, so please come watch. Then on Sundays, we currently have no programming, but stay tuned for more information on that. Mondays, we have... Wait, it's not Dragon of Icefire Peak anymore, is it?
It's Stormlord's Wrath.
Stormlord's Wrath. Okay, Stormlord's Wrath with DM Sammy. They just switched
Not to be
that
confused
adventure.
with.
That is exclusively on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/PradersRejects. That is at 7 p.m. Central. So you can catch the live stream there. And also at 7 p.m. Central, here on the Twitch channel, you can find Storm King's Thunder with our very own DM Esquire, aka Seth, aka Coven MTG. That is another all-female cast. Lots and lots of fun there. Tuesdays, and we are this game is so close to being over. We're very near the finale for this game. Is Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage with DM Def563. That starts at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Wednesdays, Tales of the Sanguine Isles with DM Mech45. That is at 8 p.m. We have all kinds of wonderful players there. I love that game. I watch it every week, pretty much.
I'm a little biased. It's fun.
I'm a little bit biased, yeah. Thursdays, look, I didn't forget. Thursdays, Tales from the Yawning Portal with our very own DM, King Bashman at 8 p.m. Central Time. I also happen to be guesting on that show for the foreseeable future. So yeah, definitely tune in. We're not biased or anything. And then back on Fridays here, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central Time is Tomb of Annihilation with us. Your lovely shenaniganry right here. We also have a show that is not streamed. It is entirely pre-recorded. It is no longer limited edition. You know we've heard us say this before, but it is a full game. East Texas University. This is a Savage Worlds game with DM Eric B. Episodes are edited and exclusively posted on our YouTube, as well as the recordings for all of our past games, at least the ones that didn't get eaten by Twitch surfers, like the lost episode of Tomb of Annihilation. Single tear. I shed a single tear for this. But yes, everything that we have, pretty much, you can find on our YouTube channel. So definitely go back and, binge watch the Dingalings campaign, the campaign before Tomb of Annihilation, so that you can catch up in time for Dingalings Season 2, which may or may not be coming soon. We don't know yet. We'll find out.
You might even develop a taste for pickled herring.
You might even develop a taste for pickled herring.
Not do that. That's disgusting.
It depends on how quickly we die in the next turn.
Personally, I hate pickled herring, but
shut up, Key.
If Rusty likes it, then it makes him happy. That's fine.
What's wrong with pickled herring?
Exactly. Okay, Varen. Not us role-playing as our other characters completely not on this show.
Super meta.
Super meta. So, yeah,
Hey, are there some backers or sponsors that you want to talk about?
Yes. I don't have the blurb for that, but hi. We have a we have a
Do you want me to do
sponsor
it?
here at Praetor's Rejects. I mean, if you want to do it, you can do it. I feel weird working for TPK and then talking about TPK as our sponsor as well, so maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up too. So
Somebody do it, because I don't have it. I don't have the script for it.
Total Party Kill Games, creators of dark fantasy Dungeons and Dragons compatible products, plus hilarious card games. Oh, and Adobe Acrobat wants to frickin' there we go. Plus hilarious card games and more. You can find them at www.totalpartykillgames and check out their latest releases of products and books. The Druid's Den, your place for magical supplies and apothecary needs. Their website is druidsden.com. And yes, you should absolutely support Mama Praetor.
Yes, please support Mama Praetor. The
Support
Druid's
Mama
Den is
Praetor.
great. A lot of us here, a lot of us in general shop at the Druid's Den. Please support small businesses, especially ones as awesome as the Druid's Den.
And I have 2 quick things to add, Mandy, if you don't mind.
Yes, go ahead.
So tomorrow on Coven MTG, we're playing our first 4-person in-person since the lockdown. So if you're into Magic, tomorrow night is our first 4-person in-person Magic Commander game. I'm very excited about this.
Ooh, that's awesome.
So there's that. And the second thing is, I forgot what the second thing was. Who cares?
I forgot. Doesn't matter.
It's late. My meds are gone.
Already? Damn.
Jesus. 4 hours, baby. I live my life in 4-hour increments.
Sounds about right. Anyway, thank you all for coming. Appreciate everybody sticking around for the raids, the bits, the follows, all the things and all the stuff, the subs, all those wonderful things. So we will see you all here on same bat channel, but a different bat time. 10 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night.
Woohoo!
Catch us here for the Greyhawk game. Rise up against the
I would
Slave Lords.
never log on tomorrow night to give the DM crits and traps.
Oh.
Me neither.
I didn't even get to use the trap
yeah.
that Francis gave me.
I am
but,
also in
you
that
know,
game. You're punishing me too.
Yeah. You're punishing me, which, will only,
Increase the
happen-
pain here.
Oh yes.
Can I just say crits and traps sounds like a beatboxing rhythm that you
Hell yeah.
Crits and traps, yeah.
All right, so there you go. It's gonna be a mashup of Lola and TNT with like a crits and traps trap beat underneath it.
That's gonna be the
Did
most
you say
cursed
Lola or
piece-
Vola?
Well, it's Lola and TNT Dynamite. So
Oh, the
that's
song. Got it.
Yes.
That's gonna be the most cursed piece of audio known to man. And on that note,
Yes.
everybody have a wonderful night. We will see you all here tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central Time. And I'm going to put on the credits now. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you next time.
Oh.